County Fair. We're brought to the Knox County Fair by Midland Acres in Bloomberg, Ohio, doing our best to bring you the best. The home of Bit of a Legend Inn, Fear the Dragon, Long Tom, Monty Mickey, Ready for Money, Summa Cum Laude, and Yankee Cruiser. Midland Acres, Bloomingburg, Ohio. We ask that you please stand at this time. Gentlemen, please remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem by Quincy and Marley Boone of Danville.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets fragor, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nice hand for Quincy and Marley Boone. Danville, Ohio.
The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association presents Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is presented by the Ohio Veterinary Medical Center, Big D Tack and Vet Supply, Dublin Valley Farms, Stable.ca, and Midland Acres. Now let's go trackside for all the action.
Welcome to the evening card of the Knox County Fair here in the beautiful Mount Vernon, Ohio. You are joining myself, Ashley Daly, and a brand new face.
Absolutely, Ashley. It's a pleasure to join you. My name is Trish Soulsby. I know that you're the new generation, but I've been around a bit.
Stop.
Spent my whole life in harness racing, and some people may remember me from doing broadcasts at the Meadows with your announcer here, Roger Houston.
Yes.
We were part of a team, and I noticed today that Tom Pye had a handle. He's Tom Pye, the harness guy, and I was thinking it must be Ashley at the races, but I was known as Trackside Trish, or Trackside with Trish.
I do love that. Frank has coined all access with Ashley when he puts me on the backside. So guess there's handles for everybody. But thank you for joining us. If you want to hop over to harnessracingohio.com and get a hold of a program, feel free. They are available free and online for you to follow all 10 of our evening card right along with us as Trish and I go into hopefully some deep detail about what we are watching today.
Yes, I would say that we're more than enthusiasts, and we both come from harness racing families, which gives us a little depth other than just being a spectator. So yes, we kind of do a deep dive.
Yeah, and so we do have 10. We have all fillies on the evening card. So if you listened earlier with myself and Tom Pye, we coined it, the fillies with the filly. So we've got two young women here going to take on the girls later this evening. But before, they have just now started calling us to the track, and we are not all out yet. And so, again, Trish is a brand new face. This is her very first live. And so please introduce yourself, who you are, what you've done, and how you ended up here.
Okay. Well, I grew up in a very small town that did have some harness racing background, Mount Carroll, Illinois. My mom and dad fell in love, and when they married, one of my dad's biggest thing was he had uncles that had some harness horses, and he loved harness racing. My mom loved horses, so immediately it was a match, and they spent a lot of time going to the races in Chicago, which was about a 3-hour drive. And I can remember growing up little, going to all the tracks in Chicago, and my dad and mom would take off and they'd make a bed for us in the back seat, and on the way home my brother and I would be sleeping end to end. So that was my introduction. Then my dad bought his first horse. My brother ended up wanting to do it for a living. He became a trainer driver, and I went into publicity, but a roundabout way. You know how things start. My mom said, if you love it, take any job at the racetrack you can get. I started in Michigan at Northfield Downs handling phone calls on a switchboard. That's how old it
wow.
is. And from there, I hung numbers upstairs with the judges. Then they needed a charter. I learned to chart. I worked for the MHHA as a secretary a little bit in the day. And once I got doing the charting, I wanted to do publicity. And so I beat the people up from Detroit Racecourse, hounded them till they gave me a chance at the publicity. And from there I went to California, worked at all the racetracks out there. And after that, I could tell you it's been all over the place. I was out in Maryland and Kentucky. But with Roger at the Meadows, we had a great team. Originally, when I joined him, it was Roger Houston, Jerry Ehrenstein, and myself. And I really loved doing the show. Of course, that was color TV because we had Call-A-Bet. We were ahead of our time. So there's a background quick. But I also own horses. I did get my trainer's license, and I love them to pieces.
So, yeah, to make a long story short, you have been there and done that, and you just keep doing it.
Why not?
Right,
if you love
right.
something, why stop?
Oh, and so many of us on air all through the season. That is exactly it.
It is.
It's in your blood.
Passion.
You really just can't get away from it. Even if you try to, you find yourself
There
right
is
back
a
into
difference
it.
of doing a job and having a passion for what you do. And if you really love these horses as we do, it becomes a passion.
No. And especially, outside of just us who are up here yakking and gabbing for 4 hours of a race card, I think about all the trainers and drivers too, and how early they're up and in the barns, and then they're sending trucks to raceways, they're sending trucks to the county fairs, and again, all of the logistics that go into.
An example, I would say, would be some of these that have multiple horses racing on today and tonight's card. It takes a lot of planning. And if they have anything racing at the parimutuel tracks too, I mean, it's a lot of coordination. You have to have, I know the Cleggs have quite a few trucks and trailers. And Nick gives his wife Betty all the kudos in the world for being the best detail person and organizing things there is. And you have to be. But today I don't know what he raced on the day card, but I know he's got,
I think 12.
Betty and he have 7 in tonight.
Yeah.
I think the busiest person tonight as a trainer is Herman Hagerman. He has 8 in. And then Rosie Weaver has 6, and the Clegg 7. So, you're going to see some names multiple times on tonight's program.
And all good trainers in their own right. Truly. They had, I think each one of them had, if not at multiple, at least one win on the afternoon card with our Colts. So excited to see what our fillies do.
2, Song of a Dragon, Tim Johnson. Tim Johnson on the 2, Song of a Dragon. The 5, Song Somewhere, Tim Deaton. Tim Deaton drives the 5, Song Somewhere. The 7, America the Beautiful, Drew Neal. Drew Neal, the 7, America the Beautiful. And number 8, My Sweet Caroline, Darren Harvey. Darren Harvey drives the 8, My Sweet Caroline. In the second race, second half, the double, number 1, Miss Snickers, Chris Hirschberger. Chris Hirschberger on the 1, Miss Snickers. Number 4, Super Alexandra, Ammon Hirschberger. Ammon Hirschberger drives the 4, Super Alexandra. Win Place Show, Perfecta Quinella, double wagering on the first. Those are the changes and corrections as we now have them in the first two races.
All right, so you heard that right along with us. We do not have full card changes for you yet, but we will gather them as they come along. But race one, we do have a couple of changes, and it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like we might be all out and getting ready for a post parade, and we will go into detail about who all makes up the field after they post parade. But this is the first division for 2-year-old filly pacers, the first of 2 divisions, going for a purse of $6,070.
This is definitely a full field of 8. I imagine that if you are going to the fair tracks, normally they score less horses across the track, which is the case in this instance, where there will be 6 on the gate and 2 trailers.
That is exactly it. Let's send it up
Straight.
to Roger.
Talent Colt Stakes 2-year-old filly pace, $6,070. Trophy by Ebersol and Sons Racing Stable. Number 1, ICC Side, Ammon Hirschberger. Number 2, Song of a Dragon, Tim Johnson. The 3, Dancin' Susie, Chris Hirschberger. Number 4, Kylie Cash, Nick Clegg. Number 5, Song Somewhere, Tim Deaton. Number 6, VH Dancer, Derek Wadaker. Number 7, America the Beautiful, the driver Drew Neal. And number 8, My Sweet Caroline, Darren Harvey in the sulky. Horse will take 1 score and go to the gate.
All right, so here we go. 8 fillies make up our first race. From the rail, we have Icy Seaside. Ammon Hirschberger will drive and train. This is down by the Seaside fillies' very first start. She does have 2 qualifiers, both at Delaware and Scioto Downs most recently. At Scioto, she did go a mile in 2 minutes and 4/5. So this is her first time out to a fair track that I guess is up and moving. So we'll see what this filly can get done today.
Tim Johnson takes the lines for trainer Betty Clegg with Song of a Dragon, an 8,000 Ohio Select sale purchase. There actually was a line that was to be announced. This one raced at Bucyrus on the 18th. So actually has had 7 starts, may not be a maiden anymore, but on the program it says not hit the winner's circle yet. So that is Song of a Dragon.
And our 3 post position, we have Dancin' Susie, another driver-trainer combo. Chris Hirschberger will be in that sulky. Has had 3 starts, one of those with a line to be announced from Bucyrus as well. But 2 starts back now, did have a win at Hilliard in 2:04 and has made a little over $2,800 in those 3 starts.
Husband Nick Clegg drives Kylie Cash for trainer Betty Clegg. Kylie Cash, the Cleggs are very close to the Cashes, and their daughter, Kylie, inspired them to name this horse Kylie Cash. They said that Kylie's such a good little athlete, and they wanted to name this horse kind of as an honor to her. Kylie was in the winner's circle when I saw this one win a couple back. But this one has made 3 starts in 5 days when you count today. So that's kind of interesting, but she's had a lot of seconds and thirds, so on the board each outing.
How old is Kylie?
Kylie's 16.
16.
Yes.
I said, what a cool name to have, too. Last name Cash. Anyway, we are going to go on to our 5 post position. Song Somewhere. Isaiah Shrake trains. Tim Deaton will get that call. This horse is looking to stay perfect. A filly by Bring On the Beach. Has been 3 for 3 and hopefully to go 4 to 4 today at Mount Vernon.
The 6 is VH Dancer, a black filly by a Dancin' Yankee, was a Buckeye Classic sale, $11,000. Derek Wadaker in the bike for trainer Tim Van Horn, has 2 wins on the season thus far out of 5 starts.
And America the Beautiful will be our first trailer. Danny Holsettler trains. Drew Neal will get the drive. This is a Buckeye Stallion Series starter. Was just out of money, but truthfully did not get a great draw. But from there, we'll let you finish out that 8.
Well, we can't forget the 8 horse. It's a hometown horse, bred, owned, and trained by Ashley Burke. Darren Harvey will be in the bike, making her 2nd appearance as a racehorse.
All right, and here we go. We will throw it up to Roger for our very first race of the evening card at Mount Vernon.
Race 2-year-old filly pacers are in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. Dancing Susie goes for the lead. Song of a Dragon gets away second. Kylie Cash up on the outside third. Racing fourth into the turn. Song Somewhere fifth on the inside. ICC side backing off six is VH Dancer. America the Beautiful racing seventh and trailing the field down the backside. My Sweet Caroline. Three of them across the track go on to the first quarter mark. In between horses, that's Dancing Susie to take the lead. Kylie Cash up on the outside second. At the quarter in 29 seconds. Around the turn, Song of a Dragon racing third, racing fourth. Into the lane is Song Somewhere. Horses passing the stands first time, coming to the halfway point. Kylie Cash on the outside, backing through the field. Moving on the outside, ICC side. Between horses, Song Somewhere. They're three wide into the turn. Halfway home, 58-4, 29-4. Second panel. On to the backside they go. Dancing Susie with the lead. On the outside, closing in, Song Somewhere, now second. Song of a Dragon racing third. Here comes VH Dancer on the move on the outside. Now fourth, now third. Closing on the outside, America the Beautiful at the three-quarter mark. 3/4 in 1:30 and 2/5. Around the final turn, VH Dancer has the lead by a half a length. Coming three wide on the outside with every stride, America the Beautiful. On the inside, Song Somewhere. Coming home on the outside, America the Beautiful. Three wide in between horses, VH Dancer. VH Dancer. Song Somewhere, VH Dancer. America the Beautiful. Song Somewhere. The mile, 2:02 4/5.
I'm sure you can hear all of the chatter in the background. There is a huge crowd here for the evening card, and what a race to kick us off. Wow.
There was so much action, Ashley. It was hard to keep up with.
The
And
entire race.
those girls were battling, let me tell you.
And keep in mind, these are 2-year-olds.
I know.
These aren't
I
these
know.
aren't 3-year-olds. These aren't aged horses for a free-for-all. These are 2-year-olds that really have very, very few starts under their belts, but our drivers were gung-ho tonight, to say the least.
Well, for instance, Danny Hostetler's America the Beautiful, when I was at Cortland, I had just wanted the horse to get a start at a fair before he threw her into the Buckeye. Well, she closed very nicely there, and she closed nicely here tonight, but she had poor luck when she did under the Buckeye at Northfield.
Yes.
She got the 8-hole, and as you said, for young horses, it's such a learning curve. Even behind the gate, there's such a difference being pinned down on the rail
Yes.
or out on the outside, which you would be at Northfield.
Say we are still going to await those official results. But definitely, I mean, first quarter opening in 29. That's very fast for 2-year-old fillies on this track.
It certainly is, and 2:02 and 4 was the final time. They came home a little slower, of course, 32 and 2. But yes, their opening panel was vicious, and there were people fighting for the lead throughout. I should say it was the people because it was the drivers driving.
But I mean, the fillies answered the call, and there is something to be said in that for a racehorse, right? If they're going to respond and fight, that you need to have a little bit of a fight in them that want to win, that want to be on top. But with that, I do want to say there is something to be said with patient drivers, and we see that in this very first race of these fast opening quarters. These babies really can't always keep up with those quarters at blazing. And here we have our 6-horse, which should be our unofficial winner.
Yes, VH Dancer, trained by Tim Van Horn, Derek Wadaker in the bike for a victory tonight, I do believe. I don't think that we can't tell by the eye. The only thing is if there was any usual inquiry or objection, but clearly I think the 6 was our winner. And
Circle. Number 6, VH Dancer, owned and trained by Tim Van Horn, Malta, Ohio. Derek Wadaker in the sulky. 2-year-old filly by Dancing Yankee out of Southwind Sugar. Home a winner in 202 4/5. VH Dancer, Tim Van Horn, Derek Whitaker in the first. This race sponsored by Ebersol and Sons Racing Stable.
We have a nice little group down there in front of our grandstand for our win picture.
That's the most exciting part when you own one, is getting that trip to the winner's circle.
Absolutely. And it doesn't matter. For us, it never mattered if it was a county fair, if it was a sire stake. It didn't
I've been
matter
so
when
excited with some wins that they felt like they were the Hambletonian to me.
Yep. No, 100%. And that's when you are just enthralled in this industry and what you do every single day in and out. There's just a love that is very indescribable with it.
3 in a row in Ohio.
Really nice that they applaud the horses here.
And
that's
I know,
very
every
nice.
time they come in front of the grandstands, it's loud. How cool is that?
It is, and now this filly has won half of her starts in her first season of racing. Pretty impressive.
Unofficially, I did have 675. I don't know if
That's what I had too,
right.
Ashley. You're safe.
Tom Pye and I, we had differing thoughts.
I heard that.
For our first few races.
I happened to hear that one too. He was wrong.
He was, most of the time, actually, most of the time. I won't say that to Tom's face, but we just said we.
He's probably listening and he heard. You're outed. But yes, for some reason we don't have the rundown yet. We did have. I don't know, but 675 is what we're telling you unofficially, and the prices are on the board.
On ICC side, 5. The 2, Song of a Dragon, 7. The 3, Dancing Susie, 6. The 4, Kylie Cash, 4. The 5, Song Somewhere, 3. The 6, VH Dancer, the winner. The 7, America the Beautiful, 2. The 8, My Sweet Caroline, 8. Top down, 5, 7, 6, 4, 3, 1, 2, 8 on the bottom. The quarter, 29. The half, 58, 4. 3/4, 130 and 2. The mile, 202 4/5. Second race coming up. Number 1, Miss Snickers, the driver Chris Hirschberger. Number 4, Super Alexandra, the driver Eamon Hirschberger.
I don't know how fans could have overlooked this one if they were playing horses, having had 2 wins already.
Right. Definitely.
But the payoff, $70 on VH Dancer. You know, it's fun to come to the fairs and make a little wager.
It's a good place to learn. Hey, this is a learning opportunity for the horses, for the drivers, and for the people in the stands, right? So there you have it. Our first race is closed out. VH Dancer gets the win in 202 and 4. That takes the first division of the 2-year-old filly Pacers. We will head next to race 2, the first division for 2-year-old filly Trotters. But before then, we will have a couple of brief messages. The Knox County Fairgrounds in Mount Vernon, Ohio has been a popular place since 1895. The grounds were originally home to an amusement resort known as Lake Hiawatha Park. Guests would arrive at the front gates on a state-of-the-art electric trolley. The lake retreat was complete with a billiard and dance hall, theaters, restaurants, and a zoo. By the mid-20th century, the park fell out of fashion. The land would become home to the Knox County Fair. The fair dates back further than its establishment at Lake Hiawatha Park. Local township farmer clubs held gatherings as early as the 1840s.
Those clubs would soon form the Knox County Agricultural Society and host the first county-wide fair. For several years, the fair moved from location to location. Grains, fruit, and livestock were exhibited for a single day at the town courthouse, in churches, or even the jailhouse property. The fair would outgrow all of these spaces and demand a permanent place to call home. In 1894, the fair made its move to Lake Hiawatha Park. One of the biggest advantages of the park was its racetrack. Automobile and horse racing were popular during this time. The county fair took advantage, hosting pacers and trotters annually.
History, tradition. For over 100 years, 2- and 3-year-old trotters and pacers have started their careers on the tracks of the Home Talent Colt Stakes. See the future stars of Ohio harness racing at one of the Home Talent's 15 tracks. The stars of tomorrow are racing at a track near you today. The Home Talent Colt Stakes. You can't win them if you aren't in them.
Welcome back. You are joining myself, Ashley Daly, and the one and only Trish Soulsby, who is getting lots of shout-outs on our Facebook comments. You have some people who definitely recognize you and love hearing you.
Oh, well, that's nice to hear. My fan club is still alive and kicking.
They
That's
are.
great.
They absolutely are. So we are still waiting for a few to come out, but we are headed into race 2, be the first division of those 2-year-old filly trotters with a purse of $6,540. But while we wait for those, I'm going to read through a handful of our comments. As I just mentioned, we're a great team. Thank you, David. Trust me, we appreciate it. And he remembers training with your dad and your brother.
Well, that's great.
Jack, I'm going to say Mark. I knew definitely with my family, Jack, Jim, which was, of course, my dad, James. He went by about 3 different names during his life. Jack, Jim, and Jeff. There's plenty of dailies that were, especially the old Lebanon Raceway, that made their day there a handful of years ago.
Yes, I guess I should have said my maiden name, too, because going back to when they trained with my dad and brother, my last name was Shout. Pretty easy.
You know, funny you say that. I've had these thoughts of, like, how can I ever not be a daily?
Right.
Truly. Especially in this industry. It's like, I made myself as a daily, and I'm going to continue to be a daily one day.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm all for you. You know, speaking of names and things, names of horses. People always find them interesting, and I'm sure not everyone knows how they all come about. But typically when you get a horse, you buy it at a sale, it might already have a name, or you buy it even privately, it might already have a name. But as long as it hasn't raced, if you don't like the name, you can change it. And if you have one you bred and you name it, any way you're going to name a horse, you can submit like 3 choices, and it has to be 18 spaces, and they can't be more than 4 words. And then a lot of times some people do the breeding, or if you followed standardbred horse racing for a long time, you'll realize that there are certain farms that use their names with every horse that they breed, and we have that here in Ohio.
I say definitely one of many that we see around the Ohio fairs is the Levan stable. Right, I think of Calvin L. They have, so many that anything that does start with their stable, even if it's not a homebred, they will change their name to include that L.
And the Rose Run farms.
Yes.
Yep. They have a lot of Rose Run horses. Actually, in the world, everybody used to say Hanover, because that was like the most famous. Hanover Shoe Farms, Hanover this, and they still are breeding and have lots of good race horses that are racing across the U.S. and Canada.
Definitely a name that if you follow harness racing just a touch, you will see, you will become very familiar with.
Equally as important are the owners, and sometimes I guess they get the least attention, but they keep the sport going. And in this race that we're coming up to, there's a stable name I'm going to tell you a little bit about. It's Cookie Ladies, and I wondered what the story was behind that, and I quickly found out they used to work all the fairs, and they would give away cookies to the people that picked up the numbers for their horses.
Yep. All these little stories, truly make up harness racing in general. So we're talking off air right before we all hopped on of just the cool humanitarian stories that are here and truly make up the backside. And here we do come for
Roger
our
will be
post
giving
parade
it.
of our second race.
Race, hometown Nicole Stake 2-year-old filly trot, $6,540. Trophy by Buddy Squeals on Wheels Barbecue. Number 1, Miss Snickers, Chris Hirschberger. Number 2, Teacher Kate, the driver Matthew Brown. Number 3, Blueberry Pop-Tart, Darren Harvey. Number 4, Super Alexandra, the driver Eamon Hirschberger. Number 5, Sunny Sky, Drew Neal. Number 6, Long Tom Princess, Mark St. Louis Jr. The 7, Tom Sneaky Link, Ty Loy. And number 8, Promise at Dawn, Jason Thompson in the sulky. Horse to take one score and go to the gate.
All right, another big field for us. We do score 6 wide here at Mount Vernon, and we have another field of 8, so 2 will trail. But starting off on the rail, we have Miss Snickers. We do have a change if you are following along with the program with us. It'd be Chris Hirschberger will be in the sulky for Isaiah Schrake. This horse has had 2 starts and is the only filly with a win currently under her belt. So last start off was at Carrollton, had a 3rd place finish in 2:09.2 and has made $4,800 on the year.
Trainer driver Matthew Brown will hold the lines for Teacher Kate. This is an Enterprise filly owned by Dwayne Lowry and Michelle Brown. The horse has made 2 starts, picked up a 3rd, was a Buckeye Classic sale. Back in the Buckeye Classic, brought $12,000 and was 3rd last time out. We're looking for better, I'm sure.
Blueberry Pop-Tart is next. I love that name, first of all. I think that was so much fun. But driven and trained by Darren Harvey. It is a What the Hill filly. She has had 2 starts on the year, has had some little tough luck. Last start out in a Buckeye Stallion series. Did make a break, I'm sure, with just the young trotter brain that I'm sure we'll see some of today. But again, 2 starts in the year, still looking to hit the board for the first time.
The daughter of Full Count, Super Alexandra, is trained by Wes Hirschberger, driven today by Eamon Hirschberger. This horse made a couple appearances in qualifying races. They're non-pursed races, and then went to the Ohio Fair Stakes, had 1 start and made a break, but it looked like it had an excuse. It looks like interference at the start, so second chance today.
Sunny Sky will fall in line next. Drew Neal and Rosie Weaver will team back up. That is a pair that we are seeing at many county fairs and having quite a bit of success at these county fairs. So 2-year-old filly out of Full Count was 4th placed 5th in the last start at Oak Harbor, and another one that has had 2 starts on the year and still looking to hit the board.
Herman Hagerman trains Long Tom Princess by Long Tom, one of the popular trotting sires here in Ohio. Mark St. Louis Jr. gets the call. This one has had 1 start, cut the mile out, and finished 2nd. Trotted in 2:09.1, finishing 2nd. And that was at Hilliard. So,
all right, now as we move in, we'll get through the last 2. So the 7, Tom Sneaky Leak, Ty Loy drives and trains. 2 starts on the year with 1 second place finish, another one out of Long Tom.
And Jason Thompson is in the bike with Promise at Dawn, trained by Scott Cox, also has had 2 starts under its belt.
All right, so let's see if Miss Snickers will continue with her wins or if somebody else will break their maiden.
Trotters are all in behind the Wilkenberg gate on the upper turn. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting. That's Sunny Sky going for the lead. Blueberry Pop-Tart is there 2nd. On the outside, Long Tom Princess 3rd. Inside, Teacher Kate is 4th. Racing 5th from the 2nd tier, Promise at Dawn. Racing 6th, Miss Snickers. As they race around the turn, racing 7th is Tom Sneaky Link. And trailing the field, Super Alexandra. Down the backside, Blueberry Pop-Tart. Off stride. On top of the field, it's Sunny Sky by 2.5. Long Tom Princess is now 2nd at the quarter in 33.2. Into the turn, Teacher Kate racing 3rd. Up on the outside, as they race around the turn. Go on to the 3/8. Coming back is Blueberry Pop Tart. On the inside, Promise It Dawn, followed by Tom Sneaky Lane. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. Super Alexandra trails the field. It's Sunny Sky showing the way by a length and 3/4. Long Tom Princess is second. Teacher's Kate third. Fourth on the outside, Blueberry Pop Tart. Halfway home in 1:05 and 2/5. On to the backside, Promise It Dawn racing fifth. Sixth on the outside, Miss Snickers. Seventh is Tom Sneaky Link. Trailing the field, Super Alexandra. Down the backside they go. Sunny Sky, been there every step. Here comes Mark St. Louis Jr. Long Tom Princess up on the outside second. Off stride, Tom Sneaky Link. Into the turn they go. On the outside, Long Tom Princess with the lead. Racing second is Sunny Sky at the 3/4 in 1:37. Midway around the turn, Blueberry Pop Tart closing on the outside, 3 wide. Here comes Promise It Dawn, fourth. Coming through the stretch, Blueberry Pop Tart has the lead. Promise It Dawn between horses. It's Blueberry Pop Tart. Promise It Dawn. Long Tom Princess.
Unofficial. 2:06 and 1/5. Perfect. So unofficial, I have 3:86. Perfect.
I also have 386, so we can confirm that. The 3, Blueberry
yeah,
Pop Tart.
Let's talk
cute
about her,
name.
actually. I know. It is such a cute name, but she made a miscue.
And
she
still
came
recovered.
back marching. She really did. Yep, there we go. So we do have an inquiry against the 3 because of a possible violation of that braking rule. So you do have to lose ground. You can still win a race as long as you lose ground. So I'm sure they're going to review that and take their time. But again, that is completely unofficial as we had read it off as it came across the finish line for us.
Yes, actually, that's not the only one that made a bobble and came back. I believe the 6, Long Tom Princess here leaving, made a bobble out of the 6 hole and caught, and then finished third.
Blueberry Pop Tart, no violation.
So we do have, it's a knock-on official, but Blueberry Pop Tart has no violation, and she is making her way back in front of the grandstand. I'm sure her party is trying to come over on the golf cart as we speak.
Well, once in a while, they have to be the lonely only, and it's just the driver and the horse, but we shall see. Blueberry Topport is a What the Hill. I don't know if we mentioned that. The dam is actually Top Tart by Andover Hall.
Say some of these names have rhyme and reason, but some of them definitely don't. And it's always interesting to read a program and put 2 and 2 together, right? So Top Tart, all right, makes sense. But there are some that it's like, who is that named after? What is the story? Because there's got to be a cool one.
Exactly. You know, it is a fun thing, though. And in our program, we always show the sire and the dam, but the dam sire as well. And a lot of that is interesting, too, because when you get in Ohio and you have certain breeding and stuff, but when you start to go back to the grandsire, you'll see horses that, you know, probably you can recognize as Grand Circuit winners and things.
Definitely.
Champions, for sure.
And here we have Blueberry Pop Tart, breaking her maiden in 2:06 and 1 here at Mount Vernon.
And that was a good final quarter there, Ashley. 20
Oh, it
and
was.
1.
You are right, especially on a track like this.
Owned by W. Mass Jr., Eden Acres Farmstead, S.A. Miller, Darren Harvey trains and drives. 2-year-old filly by What the Hill at a Top Tart. Home a winner in 2:07 1/5, a lifetime mark. This race sponsored by Buddy Squeals on Wheels Barbecue.
Well, there were people in the winner's circle, and she deserved the blanket. She came home in 29-1, mile in 206-1. I'm sure the Harveys are happy. Along with those owners. We got quite a few owners on this one, it looks like. We have just initials, W. Mass Jr. from Dundee, Eden Acres from Farmstead, LLC, Millersburg, Ohio, and S.A. Miller from Millersburg, Ohio. So congratulations on your initial victory with Blueberry Pop-Tart.
Number 1, Miss Snickers, 5. The 2, Teacher Kate, 7. The 3, Blueberry Pop-Tart, the winner. The 4, Super Alexandra, 6. The 5, Sunny Sky, 4. The 6, Long Tom Princess, 3. The 7, Tom Sneaky Link, 8. The 8, Promise at Dawn, 2. Top down, 571, 643, 8, 2 on the bottom. The quarter, 33 and 2. The half, 105.2. 3/4, 137. The mile, 207, 1/5.
Correction there, 207 and 1. We had 206 and 1.
That's why we listen to Roger Houston. So there you go. Race 2 does go official. It looks like the try paid $44.80.
Yes, prices on the board. The winner paid $6 to win, but $7 to place. Paid more if you bet to place than if you bet to win, which is an anomaly.
Right. So there we go. There goes official. 3:865 for race 2. Blueberry Pop-Tart takes it in 2:07 and 1. Headed next into race 3, and we will discuss that after a quick commercial break.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year. Our expert team of boarded surgeons, sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sport horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661. Volstead, Coach K. Hanover, Slay. Ohio's top trotters stand at Dublin Valley Farms. Volstead's offspring include Sugar Instead, the 2023 Ohio 2-year-old Trotting Filly of the Year, and 2024 Ohio Sire Stakes winner Jurassic Hattie. Coach K. Hanover, the son of world record holder Walner. And Slay, the son of Chapter 7, standing his first season at Dublin Valley Farms.
We are back here for race number 3 of 10 for the Philly Late Card Knox County Fair in Mount Vernon, Ohio. First division for 3-year-olds. This is the first time our 3-year-olds have hit the track this evening, and this will be 3-year-old Philly Trot, purse of $5,780. A field of 7, so a little bit smaller, but we do still have a trailer that will be in this race.
Well, we're going to go over the field, so I might as well dive in with the rail horse. That's one Fancy Lady, trained by Rosie Weaver. We mentioned her earlier as racing 6 horses on tonight's card. Drew Neal gets the call. This one is a maiden yet this year, but had a win last year as a 2-year-old in 158 at Northfield. 6 starts forward this year so far, finished 3rd last time out, and was an Ohio Select sale purchase for $17,000. One Fancy Lady.
So we definitely will have some changes coming to you later. We have not had an announcement, but Drew Neal is also down for Rosie Weaver from post position to Eckhart Hill Carey. So we will bring that change to you as soon as possible. We'll see who Drew comes out on. But Eckhart Hill Carey, 5 starts on the year, still looking for first win, has only had 2 third place finishes, but lifetime 21 starts, 3 wins, 5 seconds, 5 thirds. This was a $10,000 purchase from the Buckeye Classic, and she has already made almost $22,000. So she's made her money back plus some for Rosie Weaver, who does own and train, and she is an Uncle Peter filly.
We had just heard a commercial with the sire Volstead mentioned, and he is indeed the sire of Quick and Easy, who's going to be handled by Jason Thompson for trainer Scott Cox. This one has strung 2 wins together back-to-back here and will be looking to make it 3 in a row in Ohio. Has had 10 starts on the season, $14,140 earned, and is had the best mark so far this year was in a qualifier, however, 2:01 and 1 at Northfield.
Betty Clegg and Nick Clegg will bring us the full horse, Sister Wives. Now, if you're looking at a program, there is a line to be announced because we raced just 2 days ago at Bucyrus. I do not have any updates on that, neither does Trish. So with that, we will just say there have been 12 starts. Not sure what that last one finished as, but with that, we have had a win on the year, some starts back, and this filly also did start in a BSS. She was third at the Northfield BSS leg on June 12th.
The 5 horse is It's a Girl Thing. Trainer Herman Hagerman has this filly by What the Hill. Mark St. Louis Jr. gets the call, and I know price doesn't make the horse, but this was a pretty pricey yearling, $50,000 at the Ohio Select sale. Has had 3 starts this year with 1/3.
Elise Dream Girl is our 6 horse. Levi Hirschberger trains. Ammon Hirschberger will get the drive. This is another one if you're reading along in the program with a line to be announced. Just started 2 days ago at Scioto in a BSS. So one that has taken that step up from the Ohio County Fairs. I want to say I wrote the release for the BSS. I don't remember her name being on there, so I don't believe we had a winner. But with that being said, 14 lifetime starts, 2 wins as a 2-year-old, and 3 lifetime third place finishes, has made $32,000 lifetime and made a mark at 2 at Scioto in 157 and 4.
And rounding out the field is a 7, Island Business, trained and driven by Charlie Myrick, a Chestnut filly by Enterprise with 13 starts thus far this year, yet to hit the winner's circle, earned $7,986, was second last time out at an Ohio Fair stake, and Charlie's been driving her off and on. Last time it was Chris Hirschberger, but he did drive her 2 back and finished 4th at Cortland.
So we are still waiting, I think, for 1 or 2 to make their way to the track before we post parade. But I want to go back to something you had said. So horse 5, It's a Girl Thing, Ohio Select sale for $50,000. You said it's a little bit of a pricier yearling.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's such a hard thing at this day and age to really put a number to what's pricey and what's not, because it's so over the board. And we've seen standardbreds just, we had talked about it earlier, how improved the breed is and how fast and athletic and how that correlates with how much you're going to spend.
Well, exactly, Ashley. It's still, I would say, you can look at the horse, the conformation, you can look at the breeding, see what siblings that particular foal has, if any at all. But when it comes right down to, there's still a big unknown factor, and you'll see horses of all prices turn out well and otherwise. But you mentioned something very interesting to me, and that's about the evolution of our breed. You know, this is an all-American horse, and a lot of people are surprised to know that it was developed here with the foundation sire of Hambletonian, and few people don't know that the grandsire of Hambletonian was the great thoroughbred Messenger that came over here. So they're surprised, but there's a lot of different bloodlines go into the standard bred, but the grandsire of Hambletonian was indeed a thoroughbred. But you can, trot's a natural gait. We got trotters out there. All horses walk, trot, run, whatever. But you could take a thoroughbred and they can't trot fast. Our gaited horses are amazing. And when you think when they first started our sport and started to register them according to going how much a mile, I think it was they had to go in, 220 or 230?
Oh, yeah, it was.
And now we have horses going in 46 and 47, and regularly at the big tracks, 49.
Yep. So here we go for our post parade for race 3.
Talent Coal Stakes 3-year-old filly trot, $5,780. Trophy in this race, MB Racing Stable. Number 1, One Fancy Lady, Drew Neal. Number 2, Eckerd Hill Carey, Rosie Weaver. The 3, Quick and Easy, Jason Thompson. Number 4, Sister Wives, Nick Clegg. Number 5, It's a Girl Thing, Mark St. Louis Jr. The 6, Elis Dream Girl, Ammon Hirschberger. And number 7, Island Business, Charlie Myrick in the sulky.
right, and there is our field for race 3, first division of these 3-year-old filly trotters.
Something else I was going to point out, when people that are newer to the sport and they start to look at lines and everything, and you see those chicken scratches, those X's when a horse goes off stride. If you would make 2 breaks in a row at a regular parimutuel track, you would have to go into qualifying races, which is something our sport has that the thoroughbreds do not have, where you have to reach a standard of time and a clean line before you can go before the betting public. But at the fairs, you don't get penalized. So when you go to the fairs, it's great for the young horses to gain experience, because you can still put them in the box and race, even if you've made 2 breaks in a row, such as sister wives in this instance.
Right, and kind of circling back what you had said with new owners and learning and price tags and all of the good stuff. It's so important to remember horses don't know how much you pay for them.
Exactly.
You'll see $6,000, $5,000 horses at a fair track. You'll see them in sire stakes. Truly, a horse doesn't know, and I know bloodlines and gait and all of the conformation can play into it, but sometimes there's such an amount of luck that goes into horse racing. You can put the best trainer up, you can put the best driver up, and still at the end of the day, that horse has to have a little bit of a natural knack and draw well. And just the race has to play out exactly how it needs to play out.
Oh, there's a lot of factors, no doubt about it. In speaking to Nick Clegg a couple weeks ago, an example is about a horse that can really surprise you and make you. He had that horse Duncan, and he actually has a different philosophy. He races them a lot. He raced Duncan 19 times as a 2-year-old, 40 times as a 3-year-old, and is racing now as a 4-year-old and has about $450,000 on his card. But he was a nominally priced horse. I cannot remember, but he certainly has more than pulled his weight. I think he had, as a 3-year-old, I think he had 21 wins out of those 40 starts.
I think of, Ohio's Sweetheart, Smooth as Tennessee Whiskey. Was it Racing Rampage? There was plenty of horses. If anybody is listening and like, wow, I really want to own one of these horses, but I don't have that much kind of money, you don't have to, truly. And you don't even have to spend $5,000 out of the bat. There are so many partnerships out there where you can just get your hands on it and feel the excitement and still go to the races. And you truly do still own a part and get to experience and go in the win pictures. And I think of the stable.ca, which I'm sure we have commercials
I have to admit,
with.
I own 3% of one in the stable.ca, not because of anything except my husband didn't get a horse I wanted him to get, and it was a 3/4 brother to my horse, ATC Queenie. So I wanted that rooting interest, so I signed up. And that horse's name is Irresistible Sun, by the way. Go Irresistible Sun.
And there you have it. So, field of 7 now going behind the Mike Webkenberg starting gate. Purse of $5,780. We will have 1 trailer. So let's send it up to Roger Houston.
Trotters are out in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting. That's It's a Girl Thing on the outside. One Fancy Lady gets away. Second goes off stride in the turn. Also go off stride is Quick and Easy as they race around the turn. Going to the backside, It's a Girl Thing with the lead. One Fancy Lady is here second, racing third down the backside. That's Eli's Dream Girl. Racing fourth, it's Eckerd Hill Carey. Fifth is Sister Wives. Racing sixth, Island Business, and trailing the field, Quick and Easy. Opening quarter, 30 3/5. Into the turn, going to the 3/8 mark. On top of the field, showing the way, It's a Girl Thing and Mark St. Louis Jr. by a length and a half. One Fancy Lady is there second. Passing the stands first time, coming to the halfway point. Racing third as they race over to the half, and now moving on the outside, Eli's Dream Girl. Racing fourth, Eckerd Hill Carey. Fifth is Sister Wives at the half, and 101 2/5. Sixth on the outside, Quick and Easy, and trailing is Island Business. to the backside and the 5/8. It's a girl thing with the lead on the outside. Long mile now for Eli's Dream Girls. Second, racing third. Up the inside, One Fancy Lady. Fourth is Sister Wives. Fifth, Eckerd Hill Carry at the 3/4 mark. Racing sixth, it's quick and easy and treading the field. Island Business at the 3/4, 132. Midway around the final turn, the one to catch. It's a Girl Thing by a length and a quarter. Eli's Dream Girl on the outside second. One Fancy Lady is third through the stretch. On the inside, It's a Girl Thing off stride. Drawn away, it's all Eli's Dream Girl. And off stride, It's a Girl Thing. Third, One Fancy Lady. The mile, 2:02.
It's very discouraging. I imagine if I were the trainer or the driver sitting there looking like you were going to have a victory. Actually, that would have been the first victory for It's a Girl Thing. And she made a boo-boo. She made a break under pressure, being driven down to the wire.
Say that is sometimes the unfortunate reality of horse racing, harness racing.
Yeah, it can make you frustrated. It can make you sad, but it can also make you very glad.
Yeah, so they did come across the wire 6:51, but with that, It's a Girl Thing was making a break as they crossed the finish line. So there is automatically an inquiry to make sure that she lost ground.
Right, and isn't lapped on. That's the other thing. You either have to lose ground, but if you're lapped on, automatically that's another thing. If you're lapped on, the horse behind you is up to you. Then you are off in place behind the horse.
So we will see. We will wait for Roger, of course, to give us that final. But the 6, Eli's Dream Girl, I think I mispronounced when we were first going through. I said Elise. Eli's Dream Girl trained by Levi Hirschberger.
Actually, the 3 of the horses sprinted away from the rest of the field most of the mile. There was a large separation between the first 3 and then the other 4 in the race. And the 7 horse, the trailer, I didn't hear. The trailer, that was might have been its first experience behind the horses and not its nose on the gate. And for Charlie Myrick, that one made a boo-boo early.
In the sulky, 3-year-old filly by Global Republic S out of I Like Jesse. Home a winner in 2:02. Final half, 1:03. Final quarter, 30 seconds flat. Trophy in this race, MB Racing Stable.
More applause for the winner. So it's not official yet. We're waiting for that rundown, so there's no prices on the board yet. But I think we see that Eli's Dream Girl is out there on the board at 7-1.
Not a bad price. Not
Nope.
a bad price.
Not bad at all. The 5 horse was the favorite. I believe that's 9-5 with It's a Girl Thing. And wouldn't you know, I hope we didn't jinx her talking about her price. I hate to say that.
And that's one thing. Horsemen, if you go on the backside, and I think about early in the season when we're trying to get stories and trying to do freshman focus, a lot of trainers don't want to talk. My mom is very bad about this. If she has something good in the barn, do not discuss it.
I understand.
They're so superstitious.
I think that there's a lot of superstitions around horses and horseman racing. My job at the Meadows was to interview trainers, drivers, owners, and I did it before every single race, the whole race card, the entire night. And I had usually about 3 or 4 minute interview and then would pick up when they went behind the gate for Roger to take over. And I would have to run these people down and ask them. And you would be surprised sometimes how tough that was because of superstitions. No, not tonight.
Yep.
No, not tonight. Or, no, last time I did one.
Five.
All right, so that kind of came on late, but there has been no violation of the 5.
Race Number 1, One Fancy Lady, 3. The 2, Eckerd Hill Carry, 5. The 3, Quick and Easy, 6. The 4, Sister Wives, 4. The 5, It's a Girl Thing, 2. The 6, Eli's Dream Girl, the winner. Number 7, Island Business, 7. Top down, 3, 5, 6, 4, 2, 1, 7 on the bottom. The quarter, 30 and 3. The half, 101, 2. 3/4, 132. The mile, 2:02. In the 4th race, Darren Harvey drives the 1, I Fly Solo. Number 2, Prosperous Yankee, Derek Wadaker. Number 4, Song of the Queen, Tim Deaton. And number 6, ATI Girls Love Cruisin', Alex Hawk. Driver changes, Harvey on the 1, Wadaker the 2, Deaton the 4, Hawk on the 6.
All right, so there you have it. Our 3rd race closes with Eli's Dream Girl catching the first win of the season in 2:02. We will come back next and discuss the changes in the field of 7 for the first division of 3-year-old filly pacers. Join.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Long Tom, Summa Cum Laude, Ready for Money, and Bit of a Legend. See our yearlings at the Blooded Horse Sale August 27th and the Ohio Select Sale September 13th.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com for fast shipping. Most orders ship that day. Or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC Oil. It makes a world of difference.
You are joining us back here at the beautiful Knox County Fair in Mount Vernon. You are tuning in for the fillies of the evening race. You're joining myself, Ashley Daly, and Trish Soulsby if you are new to the night.
Yes, and it is a beautiful night, I must say, and the track is fast and firm. We had another wagering anomaly. This happens at the fairs a lot because you don't have your seasoned bettors, I guess, or punters, or might not know, and it's more like, oh, I like that horse's looks or that name. But the winner paid $16.60 to win in that last race. Nobody bet it to place, so there was no place price, and then $3.60 to show. So that's fairly interesting. But you find that at the fairs where it's more of a fun atmosphere and people are maybe learning or just think, oh, I'll go to the grandstand and I'll take a peek at what's happening out there. Yeah.
Yep. And that's what, hey, it keeps us going. It keeps us going. Heading into race 4, though, we still are looking for a handful of the fillies to make their way to the track. And say, Trish, you had just mentioned how fast the track is. What we have not brought up yet is our current
records,
track records. Yes. And
well, enlighten us, Ashley, please.
So our all-age pace was equal today by the boys. So all-age pace currently is 157 flat. It was set in 2012 by Mr. I Am and was equal today by Drinking My Baby Goodbye. Yeah, to say.
And isn't that a 2-year-old?
You might be right. Let's flip back, shall we?
I don't know, but if it
was a wicked mile.
That's amazing.
Oh, 3-year-old. He's a 3-year-old. Drinking My Baby
Okay.
Way did equal the 157 track record. It's a sire stake course. He does start in the sire stake, so has seen the upper levels and actually at that last sire stake paced in 151 and a piece. So coming to this track fair, right, It's a
Well,
little different.
you find some trainers that will keep what they consider one of their better performers, just at the bigger tracks, as they call it. But I think there's an awful lot of blend here in Ohio because the fair racing has become so good.
Yes.
The purses are good.
Yes.
The tracks are much better than they used to be years ago. And something else that the fair races have that's for the fans that OHHA came up with, and I think it's a great idea, is the passport. You want to tell them about it,
Yes.
Ashley?
So I'm only a couple weeks returned to OHHA, but I believe that was a Susan Schroeder idea, and she's just fantastic. That's what she does. That's her job, is the programs and events, and it's so cool. So if anybody is in the grandstand or on the backside listening and always wants to participate, please come see us. There are these little booklets that have each race card, and if you can come see us, we'll give you a sticker, and whoever at the end of the year has the most stickers, you will send them in to the OHHA, and you win. You win a
So
prize.
send your stickers in. If you get a lot of them in your book and you think you might have been at more fairs than anybody else, send them in anyway. You never know.
You never know.
Because
There's
somebody
a lot
that had
of cards.
somebody that maybe went to a lot of fairs just neglected to send them in, and it's going to be. We don't know what the prizes are, though. I think
I do not, at
Oh,
least.
well,
I would love
anyway.
to give you some more detail. I do not.
I'm sure they'll be wonderful and very worthwhile. But come on out and see us at the fairs across Ohio. Harness racing is fair strong. We have lots of fairs and a lot of great racing at the fairs.
We're bringing 66 county fairs, and is it 126 cards this year? Is it 126? Yeah, there's a lot. Like Matt's looking at me like, yeah, don't mention it. We're not even halfway yet. But
He doesn't want to think
fair
about
time,
it. Imagine
fair
that.
time is fun time.
That's
by
what
all
we
means.
say.
All right, sounds like we are all out. So I'll finish my thought. But anyway, so the pace, all-age track record here is 157, was equal today. And the trot is 158, set by Dance with Somebody in 2021. So we might have some fillies that give it a run for its money. We'll see.
There's a name that's based on a song. I'm sure of that. I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat. And we've got plenty of heat in action right here about to go forward. Roger will be giving us the post parade here with this set field of 7 fillies, 3-year-olds on the pace.
This should be one of 3 divisions. Let me double check. Should be one of 3 divisions, going for a purse of $3,934.
And here we go. Oh. I thought Roger had them all assembled, but apparently not.
Home Talent Colt Stakes, 3-year-old at pace for fillies, $3,934. Trophy by Hegerman Racing Stables. Number 1, I Fly Solo. The driver, Darren Harvey. Number 3 is Dazzlin' Delilah, Logan Ebersole. Followed by the 2, Prosperous Yankee, Derek Wadiker. Number 4, Song of the Queen, Tim Deaton. The 5, Dancin' Pearl, Jason Thompson. The 6, ATI Girls Love Cruisin', Alex Hawk. And number 7, A Spatial Dance, Mark St. Louis Jr. in the sulky. Horse will take 1 score, go to the gate.
All right, so there's our field of 7 headed into the 4th race. Starting from the rail, we have I Fly Solo. Darren Harvey will get the drive for D. Holton. This will only be the Do Me That Again filly's 2nd start of the year, still looking to break her maiden.
Okay, we have the 2, Prosperous Yankee with Derek Wadiker in the bike for trainer Samuel Clark. Also owned by Samuel Clark, made 3 starts last year as a 2-year-old, is just getting started here in her sophomore season, has had 1 start under its belt, made a break but finished 5th at, what is that fair, Williston, I guess? Is that
Oh, you
right?
said it too fast.
I don't know.
What is that fair? Wellston. Oh my
Wellston.
gosh, wow. we
I've
need
never
to-
been to that fair. I've been to a lot of them here in Ohio, but I'll admit that one is I have never been at.
All right, and the next we have Dazzlin' Delilah. Jeff Ebersole trains the Dancing Yankee filly Logan why do I keep saying that? Logan Eversole will be behind the lines. This filly did not have any starts as a 2-year-old and only one lifetime start as a 3-year-old, and that was at Northfield Park just recently, July 10th.
Song of the Queen. Tim Deaton gets the call for trainer Isaiah Schreck. This is a bit of a legend filly that has had 8 starts on the season, 1 win, 1 second. Last time out at Carrollton, made a break from the rail and finished 5th by a distance. Finished 2nd the start before there with Elliot Deaton in the bike.
We have another gray filly coming up, Dancing Yankee, 3-year-old. Danson Pearl, Scott Cox trains. Jason Thompson will be in the sulky. This filly, this will be her 6th start of the season. Lifetime 20 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds, 1/3, and has made over $22,000. As a 2-year-old at Northfield, did make a mark in 155-2.
ATI Girls Love Cruisin', trained by Melvin Byler with Alex Hawk in the bike. This is a well-said filly owned by Eric Butler and Stephen E. Butler, both Ohioans. She's had 11 starts on the season, 1 victory, 1 second, 3/3, $7,408 earned, and a mark of 159, and that was taken last time out, and Alex Hawk was in the bike that time too.
A special dance will round us out as our 7th and the trailer of the field. Herman Hagerman trains Mark St. Louis with another drive. If you're following along the program, there's a line to be announced. But with that, this is a BSS starter. She has not been at many fairs, at least in the last 6 that are showing on our program. She's had some tough luck there at Scioto Downs, so it looks like Herman has made the decision to move here because this filly, she's pacing decent miles by all means. 3 starts back, she had a 53-3. She can get the job done. 28 lifetime starts and has made almost $40,000 lifetime with a mark at Scioto in 154 this year.
Over half the field are by Dancing Yankee, and 2 out of the 4 Dancing Yankees are gray. Interesting.
Gray. We'll see how the betting public likes that. Bet on the gray.
As the song says.
So here we go. We will set it up to Roger, our first of 3 divisions for 3-year-old filly pacers.
Pacers are all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. Song of the Queen goes for the lead. ATI Girls Love Cruising on the outside second, going right on to the top, getting away third as they race into the turn. That is I Fly Solo racing fourth. A Spatial Dance racing fifth. Down the backside they go. Prosperous Yankee racing sixth. Dazzling Delilah trailing the field. Dancing Pearl straight alignment as they race by the opening quarter. ATI Girls Love Cruising and Alex Hawk takes him to the quarter in 30 seconds flat. On the move on the outside, here comes Mark St. Louis Jr. A Spatial Dance now second and moving up on the leader. ATI Girls Love Cruising into the stretch they battle. ATI Girls Love Cruising on the inside. A Spatial Dance on the outside second. They're going at it. Racing third. Song of the Queen fourth. I Fly Solo. Dazzling Delilah fifth. Prosperous Yankee sixth. Dancing Pearl trails. Halfway home, 59-3. 29-3. Second panel. Winning that early battle was ATI Girls Love Cruising. Tucking it back in second, A Spatial Dance. Once again, Mark St. Louis going to try again. Closing on the outside. I Fly Solo up the inside, making up a lot of ground. Logan Ebersole and Dazzling Delilah at the 3/4 in 1:30. Midway around the final turn. Nose to nose, toe to toe, stride for stride. ATI Girls Love Cruising on the outside. A Spatial Dance. Into the stretch they come. They're still battling, going at it. ATI Girls Love Cruising. A Spatial Dance on the outside. ATI Girls Love Cruising. A Spatial Dance. Dazzling Delilah. The mile, 2 minutes flat.
2 minutes. Unofficially, ATI Girls Love Cruising. Alex Hawk.
Went wire to wire, as
Say,
they say.
he
Grabbed
knew.
the lead early and did not give it up.
No, he
even
knew
though
what
he
he
was
was doing.
challenged twice.
I say, hats off though to a special dance. She dug in. She tried. She definitely was a challenger throughout. The entire last half of the race.
And as they say, used twice, was sitting in the pocket, came after the leader once, dropped back, and then was again on the outside all the way around the final turn. Very tough. Not an easy trip.
No, not at all.
Actually, that makes 2 straight then for ATI Girls 11 with Alex Hawk in the bike.
It does. I know definitely in her last, now 4 starts, she's figuring it out, and she's been much more consistent.
She was a Buckeye Classic sale, $14,000. Would have been 2 falls ago. Not.
Alex is making his way back around slowly as our golf cart full of people make their way as well.
The stands and go into the winner's circle. Winner of the 4th race, Home Talent Colt Stakes 3-year-old filly pace, number 6, ATI Girls Love Cruisin'. Owned by Eric Butler of Quaker City, Ohio. Stephen Butler of Salesville, Ohio. Melvin Byler, the winning trainer. Alex Hawk in the sulky. 3-year-old filly by Well Said out of Cruisin' Corrine. Home a winner in 2 minutes flat.
Still waiting for that full official rundown, but I have it unofficially 6-7-3-1.
And I had the same, Ashley. We've been pretty consistent on both taking the right look, I guess, at the right time.
And it does help if we don't have multiple dead heats. We definitely had some much closer calls when Tom Pye and I were on for the early card. Still great racing though. The fillies are giving us a show, and there's quite a lot of people in the grandstand.
Yeah, the finishes have all been close, pretty much close. So
I think we just pop a tire on the
something.
golf cart. I'm pretty
I know.
sure we just popped a. I'm not sure if
everybody
that sound
was startled
reverberated.
for a second here. Well, that happens on golf carts. It also happens on the racing sulkies sometimes. Flat tires.
Fly Solo 4, the 2, Prosperous Yankee. 6, the 3, Dazzling Delilah. 3, the 4, Song of the Queen. 5, the 5, Dancing Pearl. 7, the 6, ATI Girls Love Cruisin', the winner. Number 7, A Spatial Dance 2. Top down, 4, 6, 3, 5, 7, 1. 2 on the bottom. The quarter, 30 seconds. The half, 59.3. 3/4, 1:30. The mile, 2 minutes flat. In the 5th race, number 1, Catch the Sparkle, Emmanuel Miller. The 2, Angel in Paradise, Darren Harvey. And scratch the 5, Tip.
All right, so Roger gave us there just those couple of changes. If you want to go ahead and head on over to harnessracingohio.com, you can download a program for free that is up there. You can join right along with Trish and I and see if you can make your bets even if you're home.
Yes, you can make a mind bet. That's what you can do, a mind bet. Or if you have somebody in the family watching with you, you can get something going on the side with a family member or a friend.
Bet who's making dinner tomorrow night. How about that? So there we have it. The 6 ATI Girls Love Cruisin' Alex Hawk, trained by Melvin Byler, gets the win in 2 minutes flat for race 4. Next, we head to race 5 at the 2nd division for 2-year-old filly pacers. A field of 8. We'll get to you next.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at thestable.ca.
Volstead, Coach K Hanover, Slade, Ohio's top trotters stand at Dublin Valley Farms. Volstead's offspring include Sugar Instead, the 2023 Ohio 2-year-old Trotting Filly of the Year, and 2024 Ohio Sire Stakes winner Jurassic Hattie. Coach K Hanover, the son of world record holder Walner, and Slade, the son of Chapter 7, standing his first season at Dublin Valley Farms.
Welcome back. I want to say we're taking a quick look in between races at some comments I do want to mention. So Alex Hawk just won race number 4, and David Myrick. So this is his comment. I noticed between these programs that Alex Hawk drove in a race at Washington Courthouse, which was off at 2:08, and made it to Mount Vernon to drive one at 4:11, and he won. So here we go again about being on the road and everything that goes into harness racing.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing. And not only that, how about all the people it takes to make this go off here at the fair?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to talk about the people, it's a lot more than us doing the color commentary. We've got Roger Houston as announcer, but you have the photo finish cameraman, you've got the timer, you've got a clerk, of course, perhaps, a charter charting the races. Back in the barn, you've got your, we've got the judges too.
Oh, yeah.
You have your judges. You've got, a lot of times you have a patrol judge in the starting car. You've got your starter and the driver of the starting car. You've got your paddock judge for the horses back in the barn, sending them out. You've got an identifier that makes sure that the horse that's out there matches the horse that they have programmed. We have a state vet, I'm sure. It takes a lot. And then our ticket sellers.
Oh, yes,
and just think what it takes to have this go off, have a fair meet.
Right, and until you're here and experience it or in the industry yourself, it is hard to put 2 and 2 together.
Plus, you can't forget the trainers, drivers, and of all the caretakers.
Yes.
It all starts with a good groom making a horse happy and taking good care of him.
Absolutely, and we are still waiting for a couple more to make their way. So back to our comments super quickly. I think it was it Mark? Who was it? Or David asking about the milkshakes. So Matt got his milkshake and I got myself one. They were pretty good. So thanks for the recommendation. I don't know if you were the one who originally put it in our earlier card group chat, but if anybody is here.
Is it a certain stand?
It's actually right in front of the, it's a dairy. I can't remember. Is it Swan?
The real
it's something
stuff,
Hill
the
Dairy,
real good
yes.
stuff. Okay.
It's actually right in front of our racehorse barns. So
that's what my grandfather was.
Good.
On my mom's side, he was a dairy person. He made butter and cheese. He won a gold medal for his butter at the fair in Illinois.
Oh,
long time ago. He came from Switzerland, and they were real big on the cheese and milk and all that. Hate to say it, but he had an awful saying. My grandmother said that he said that his father told him it's easier to replace a wife than a good cow.
Oh, my gosh.
Not a good thing.
Oh, my man.
But that was then. Actually, you were talking about the backstretch. It's an interesting thing. These horses have to ship in, and, of course, there's all these preparations made. Not everything is like it is when you go into a paddock at a racetrack. And so timing is very important because these horses aren't all in one barn together. It makes it a little, so when Roger's saying not everybody's out, there's a little bit of coordination that has to go on.
Right. No, a lot of times Mike he'll use his speaker in the starting gate and try to alert people, and then Roger, of course, is over the PA. But there's just, when you've got, especially these fillies are very full fields.
Today we have a scratch in this one, though.
We do.
So
Yep.
It's down to a field of 7. Tip is out.
I say, so we will go further into depth, or I guess we could start now. What
I
do you
guess
feel?
we can.
Let's do that as we are waiting. So, Trish, why don't you start us off with the rail?
Okay, well, we've already said this is the second division of the Home Talent Colt Stakes for 2-year-old filly pacers. Catch the Sparkle with Emmanuel Miller in the bike. Has had one start, made a break, finished 5th by distance. Herman Hagerman trains, and as I said, Emmanuel Miller will drive.
And coming in next, we have Angel in Paradise. Don Irvine Jr. trains. Darren Harvey will drive. This was a $16,000 purchase from the Ohio Select Sale. This will be our second start. First start was a couple of weeks ago on July 9th at Cortland Fair and finished 4th in that mile in 2:06.4.
The Clegg team back in action with the 3-horse Midwind Seashell, an Ohio Select purchase for $15,000 by the Hot Sire Down by the Seaside. And we have 6 starts on the season, no wins yet. But there was a line to be announced, and really we're so sorry we're not bringing you those, but we do not have them from Bucyrus. So going into the race, looks like it's a maiden for this season, but you don't know so nothing really to go for off that except the last line before where it broke, finished 5th.
Right, and so coming in next, we have Some Say Danny Holtsettler trains the 2-year-old filly by Well Said. Chris Hirschberger will be in the bike. This filly last started out at Northfield about a week ago, was in a BSS, had some tough luck and didn't get in the money, but did end up that mile at 1:59 and 2. 4 starts on the year, still looking to break the maiden.
As we said, 5 tip is out, but the 6 is Pink Jammies. Drew Neal drives for trainer Rosie Weaver. This one has posted 2 wins back-to-back, has won half its starts this season as it debuts here for the people at the Mount Vernon audience here. Beautiful day, beautiful afternoon, and I bet people like the name Pink Jammies.
And it's hard to miss Pink Jammies. I'm sure we will see her in the post parade because she does wear pink. So with that, we have Topless next. Eric Miller will be in the sulky for trainer Marion Chupp. This is the first lifetime start for the Fool Me Once filly.
Blank slate there, but we're going to go to the 8. Make Mine a Legend. Jeff Ebersole, the trainer. Logan Ebersole on the bike. Was in the Buckeye Sire Stakes last time out. Had the 3-hole, made a break, finished 8th by distance. Has yet to hit the board for 2nd or 3rd this season with 4 starts.
And here we go for the post.
Emmanuel Miller. Number 2, Angel in Paradise with Darren Harvey. The 3, Midwind Seashell, Nick Clegg. The 4, Some Say, Chris Hirschberger. The 5 is scratched. The 6, Pink Jammies, Drew Neal. The 7, Topless with Eric Miller. And the 8, Make Mine a Legend, Logan Ebersole in the sulky. Horse will take 1 score and go to the gate.
All right, so there Roger introduced us once again to the field. It was a field of 8 scratched down to a field of 7. So with that, we do only score 6 wide here at Mount Vernon. And even though there is a scratch, you cannot move up or move in, I should say. So the 7 and the 8 will still trail the field.
No, I think you had that right. They move up to the frontier.
Yeah.
They don't do that. They don't move up. They only move
you can
over.
Move down.
Yeah, you can move over, move in, however you want to call it. But, I wanted to bring up Donnie Irvine Jr. because his name is down as trainer of the 2-horse. Now, this is a name that is really a long-standing harness racing name in Ohio, the Irvines. And Donnie, in particular, drove at a lot of different racetracks across the country. When I was in Pompano Park for a while, he was racing there in Florida. When I was out at Free State Raceway in Maryland, he was racing out there. He, as a driver, very well. He's got over, I think, 7,600 and some starts, wins, I mean. As a trainer, much more lightly. He spent most of the time in the bike, not in the barn training. But I think I looked it up, and he had 294 wins as a trainer, and he has had purse earnings with the horses he's trained of $1,300,000.
So for that many starters, it's a pretty decent price tag.
Absolutely. So here he sends out the 2 Angel in Paradise, and I bet a lot of people are familiar with his name.
And so you might know better than me because, again.
Please, Ashley, please.
No. And so is Donnie's son Justin?
Yes.
There we go. So I want to make sure I got that correct.
You are correct. And he is very impressive. I'd say he's got a lot of his dad's talent in those bloodlines. He's been taught well, maybe, is how I would say, because I'm sure Donnie wants to take some credit there, right?
So I think Justin is roughly my age. He might be 20, 24, 20, somewhere around there.
Yes,
I'm
guessing 24, 25, something like that.
He had quite a bit of success. I want to say, was it up in Michigan a handful of years ago? And he's definitely making his mark now.
At Northfield Park, you see him every night, and he, I have to say, he's not a bad wager. He brings in a lot of nice priced horses. You cannot underestimate him. He's a talented young man.
That is very true, and we see that a lot in Ohio and in our younger stock. But we are moving into position for race 5. This is the second division for 2-year-old filly pacers. That first division went in 2:02 and 4, so that is the time we are gunning for our second and final division. We are scratched down to a field of 7 as they move behind the gate. We're going to throw it up to the voice, Roger Houston.
Two-year-old filly pacers are all in behind the gate, and here they come. They're off and pacing. Midwind Seashell goes for the lead. Up on the outside, some say grabs the racetrack. On the outside, Pink Jammies now second. Into the turn 4th is Angel in Paradise. Around the turn 5th, Make Mine a Legend. Racing 6 is Catch the Sparkle. Trailing the field, Topless. Down the backside they go. Pink Jammies and Drew Neal lead the way by a length and a half. Racing second, some say, as they race by the opening quarter. Midwind Seashell third. Opening panel 30 and 4/5. Into the turn, Angel in Paradise fourth. Racing 5th, Make Mine a Legend. Racing to the outside 6. As they race around the turn, comes Catch the Sparkle, and trailing the field, Topless. Coming to the halfway point on top, it's Pink Jammies showing the way by a length and 3/4. Racing second, some say. Up on the outside third, Make Mine a Legend. Halfway home in 1:02 and 1. Into the turn they go. Midwind Seashell fourth. 5th on the outside and starting to close the gap. Catch the Sparkle. Racing 6, Angel in Paradise. Treading the field, Topless. Down the backside, going to the 3/4 mark. Pink Jammies is opened up now by 2.5. Up the inside, some say second at the 3/4 mark. 3 wide on the outside, closing in on the leaders. It's Making Mine a Legend. Locked in, nowhere to go. Midwind Seashell, 3/4, 132 and 4. On top of the field by 4. That's Pink Jammies. Into the stretch they come. 4 of them across the track to battle for that second spot. Coming home, Pink Jammies with the lead. On the outside, Angel in Paradise. Pink Jammies, Angel in Paradise, Midwind Seashell. 2:03 1/5.
Showing off that pink. She was an easy winner. Pink Jammies. Trainer Rosie Weaver, driver Drew Neal, and that also was start to finish. Pink Jammies only increased her lead over the field, but there was a ding-dong battle for second, Ashley.
It sure was. And so Pink Jammies gets that win, well, the 3rd straight in Ohio. As Roger, he does it much better than I do, but you guys know what, what I mean. So 2:03 and 1 for Pink Jammies. I unofficially have it 6-2-3-8.
All right, I'm going to let you make that call. I was watching Pink Jammies so intensely. I really didn't school myself to put my eye on the line there. But yeah, that's really cute. I like to see the horses dressed up myself. You know, some of the colors they add to it. You know, driving colors are interesting too. It's so much easier sometimes to identify the horse you wager on because you know you're familiar with the driver and the colors he's wearing. So it's easy to keep him spotted in the field. The numbers are sometimes hard to read, but we do have that color coordination for the post positions, and they don't vary except at some tracks they do.
We do have, I'm sure somebody can comment and correct me. There is a, is it Southern Valley? There is a fair circuit that will use all the same, like one color for each race. But I want to say it might, Pink Jammies has turned around. We're going to make a slow turn back in front of the grandstand. But there is, unless that has changed this year, there is one circuit. And I will say, it took me a while to know, like, the 1 is red, the 2 is blue, and then once you get it, it's like, oh, okay, that's so much easier to know what's going on when you're during the race.
When you're charting a race, you have to know
Yeah.
this. That was drilled into my head.
Again,
Actually, this one's a bit of a handful coming back to the winner's circle. She's still revved up, a little bit racy, and
that's
maybe
another
doesn't want
winner
to stand
from
still, and
Midland
she's
Acres,
balking
the
a
home
bit,
of
coming
Fear,
up here to
the
get her picture
Tiger.
taken.
Possibly, I
I
think
wouldn't say
it's
she's
the golf
camera
cart.
shy, but yeah.
It will go to the other division for the fastest mile.
Getting a little pat on the nose. Okay, back to the barn she goes. She's done her job. She'll go back, have a nice bath.
5th race. Number 1, Catch the Sparkle, 5. The 2, Angel in Paradise, 2. The 3, Midwind Seashell, 3. The 4, Some Say, 6. The 5 was scratched. The 6, Pink Jammies, the winner. The 7, Topless, 7. The 8, Make Mine a Legend, 4. Top down, 5, 2, 3. 6 scratch 1, 7, 4 on the bottom. The quarter, 30 and 4. The half, 102, 1. 3 quarters, 132, 4. The mile, 203, 1/5. In the 6th, number 2, She's My Tomboy. Make the driver Christian Myers. Number 8, Green Hill Spurs. Mike Spearman will drive.
As we hurry to write down our changes as well. All right, so there was our 6. So yes, Dave corrected me. It is not the Southern Valley. It normally is the home talent. So this circuit right here normally does have all one saddle pad color per race. So
They
I knew
changed their ways.
I said just here? I don't know. So this is my first home talent in quite some time. So I guess we'll have to keep our eyes peeled.
Well, it does make it easier when you're following a race if you are familiar either with the driver's colors as well as being able to see the different colored saddle pads, as we call them. But it is a must when you're charting a race, which is something I did enjoy doing. It's amazing the things you see when you have your binoculars on that close. I imagine the same with Roger, that you pick up that when you're just watching it with the naked eye that you sometimes miss the closeness. And I'll tell you, one of the most exciting things some racetracks do is they get some of the fans or some of the people in to be in the starting gate. And you talk about a different look and a different feel following them around that way.
And that is one thing Mike, our starter here, he is so great about, is because it's totally a different experience because you are actually in the action, and the feeling in the starting gate is uncomparable. And he is so great about putting anybody who wants to get in there and experience it. And it's such a good thing for our industry too.
It is, and it's intense. Those horses know their job. They know their business. They know what they're supposed to do. They get revved up and ready, and the nostrils are flaring, and, the drivers are getting into the position they want to be. Sometimes they want to time the gate. Sometimes they want to have the horse's nose right up on the gate. Sometimes they actually want to leave a little room and lag the gate a bit. But the starter's always trying to get as many on the gate at the go post.
And so there was our 5th. We have made it officially to our halfway point in the evening filly card here at Mount Vernon. Race 5 goes to Pink Jammies in 203 and 1. Up next, we have race 6 and second division of the 2-year-old filly trotters, be a field of 8 that we will go into next.
The future is bright in Ohio. Ohio Sire Stakes, Buckeye Stallion Series, 66 county and independent fairs. Whether it's the Ohio Sire Stakes, the Buckeye Stallion Series, or the county fairs, Ohio has a place for your racehorse. This year, Ohio breds are racing for nearly $23 million in stakes purses. Be part of the winning. Breed, buy, race, win in Ohio.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com for fast shipping. Most orders ship that day. Or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is a full-service standardbred breeding farm. Cool Winds stands the popular Dancing Yankee, a two-time world champion, along with 2019 jug winner Southwind Ozzy, a son of Some Beach Somewhere. Cool Winds also stands the royally bred $2 million earning Western Fame. Be sure to inspect the Cool Winds yearlings at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway on Friday, September 13th.
Here we go for race 6 at the Knox County Fair in Mount Vernon. We are officially over halfway through our filly card. We have another field of 8. We do have some changes that we will go through because it looks like we are waiting for quite a few to still make their way to the racetrack. But this is the second division for 2-year-old filly trotters, a purse of $6,540.
And as we look at the rail horse From Beyond, this one trained and driven by Lanny Merriman, and people know that name here in Ohio too. His son Aaron, one of the winningest drivers in the country, and makes most of his starts right here in Ohio at Northfield Park in Northfield, Ohio. This one is From Beyond, 2 starts this year, yet to finish on the board, but has earned a little money, $523, makes its 3rd start today. It's a filly by Flex the Muscle.
She's My Tomboy. Karen Freed trains, I believe it's Christian, is it Christian Meyer or Myers?
I think they said Christian Myers.
We'll make sure we'll listen to Roger when he posts parades. But there is a driver change to Christian Meyer or Myers. We'll correct that as we come along. But one lifetime start did end up 3rd, very first start at Circleville over a month ago. Did have a qualifier last, a handful of days ago there at Scioto. Did end up with some interference, but came in second with a mile in 2:07.
You mentioned that horse is trained by Karen Fred, and I think I just saw on the comments that she's watching, so she's not here today. She has sent someone else with her horse, but I thought I saw that on the Facebook feed.
Well, here to provide you some entertainment insight to your own horse.
That's right. Emmanuel Miller drives Suds and Ritz, a Buckeye Classic sale for $30,000. Herman Hagerman, the trainer. It's a bay filly by What the Hill. Has had 2 previous starts, 5th last time out. In the Buckeye Sire Stakes, a little tougher company, finished 5th and trotted in 2 minutes and 2/5. Nice line there.
Frida will come in their 4th post position. Ammon Hirschberger will be behind the lines for trainer Levi Hirschberger. Only has, one qualifier at Scioto Downs under her belt. She had some miscues early on, so did finish at a distance, but I'm sure she is here to learn something and get around the track today.
Alex Hawk back in the bike again here with What a Start. This one trained by Virgil Morgan Jr. He's won a number of training titles here in Ohio and has the Winter Circle Training Center down beyond Scioto Downs, headed towards Circleville. I forget what they call the town, actually. It's out in the middle of nowhere. But this horse, What a Start, is by What the Hill as well. She made a break last time out, but finished 3rd at Hilliard just recently on the 15th of July.
Rosie Weaver and Drew Neal team back up. Neal in the sulky for Risky Hill, a 2-year-old filly by What the Hill. Last start out at Oak Harbor did end up second in 2:09 and 2. 4 starts on the year. That second place at last start was her first time hitting the board. I wouldn't be surprised if she goes to the front today. Just looking at the most recent lines, but our 6th horse is Risky Hill.
Country Behave is a 7-horse. Once again, the Cleggs together team up here with an Enterprise filly that we are sad to say we can't tell you what she did 2 days ago at Bucyrus because the line wasn't given to us. But prior to that, she had a pair of seconds and one was in a qualifier and one was in an Ohio Fair stake. She has 5 starts this season, 1 win, 2 seconds, and 1 third, according to this program. Her record at Paulding, 2:08 on a good track.
So we will go to Roger for the post.
Buddy Squeals on Wheels Barbecue. And these are the horses. Number 1, From Beyond, Lanny Merriman. Number 2, She's My Tomboy, Christian Myers. Number 3, Sudsnitz with Emmanuel Miller. Number 4, Frida, Ammon Hirschberger. Number 5, What a Start, Alex Hawk. The 6, Frisky Will, Drew Neal. The 7, Country Behave, Nick Clegg. And number 8, Green Hill Spurs, Mike Spearman in the sulky. Horse.
All right, so there's our field of 8. We will finish our thoughts on our trailer, our 8-horse Green Hill Spurs, Mike Spearman, trains and drives and owns. How about that? A 2-year-old filly by OU Man, coming off of a win at Hilliard, has had 4 starts as a 2-year-old. 1 of those is a win, 1 second, 1 third. So 3 of those 4 have hit the board. She's been pretty consistent, and I'm sure she will get around the track today. She has bankrolled just over $5,000 in her 2-year-old year.
It is, however, her first time in the trailing position, it appears. So she's had 2-hole, 5-hole, pair of 3-holes. So the 8-hole is definitely different. We'll be lining up behind the number 2 horse pretty much. They usually follow out like that. But one thing about it, when you're the owner, trainer, driver, Ashley, it's great in one respect, but you have nobody to blame if things go wrong.
No, but that is so honest. That was one thing. When I was really young, my dad drove, right? That was at a day and age, just what you did.
Yes.
And we don't see that so much at the raceways anymore. It's kind of you're a catch driver and you're a trainer. There tend to be kind of 2 separate lines. But going back to my dad, there come a point when we were in so many sire stakes, he's like, this is too much pressure. Like, I already trained them. Like, I'm going to say my piece here and send them to the track.
That's good. I think it has become a more specialized sport for sure, which I don't know, not to necessarily compare it to the thoroughbreds, but there is a lot of pressure. And just, you were talking about the amount of time, and then when you add that into it, you know, the things that go on in the barn in the day, and then you have to go out in the track at night. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons. Plus, you notice there is a trend with our drivers over the last couple decades. We're getting smaller drivers, basically. Back when I grew up and went to those races in Chicago, you had people like Connell Willis, a great big guy, not heavy, but he was like probably 6'2", 6'3", probably did weigh 200 pounds. You know, there a lot more, you know, like regular people-sized drivers. If you look at the top drivers today, a lot of them are not as tall. They're maybe like, you know, between 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". They're not as tall, and they're certainly weigh a lot less.
You know, and Tom and I were talking about this in the earlier card and comparing the thoroughbreds and the standardbreds. And truly, maybe it's my bias. I'll say it's my bias. But we are so much more of an approachable sport. And this is a conversation I actually had with a couple thoroughbred girls last weekend is, you know, the height weight that is always in the program for the thoroughbreds, right? That's a big deal versus here we do see all shapes and sizes. There tends to be, you know, your top drivers, like you said, there's a look to it, but there's no what's the word I'm looking for?
No,
there we go.
There is no model. We see people now, even today, you know, winning of all different statures and sizes, and but it just does seem that there is a trend towards that way. But that is something. We're not. There's a lot of involvement with availability for everybody to belong.
So true. And we are moving behind the gate for race 6, a second division of 2-year-old filly trotters, a purse of $6,540. Our first division went in 2:07.1, so let's see if we can get that time beat with our field of 8.
Trotters are all in behind the Wilkenberg starting gate on the upper turn. Gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting. That's Suds and Ritz going right out for the lead. On the inside, She's My Tomboy second. Up on the outside as they race into the turn. And go on the turn, it's Green Hill Spurs. Really way on the outside as well as Risky Hill making the break. It's She's My Tomboy. Down the backside they go. The leader, Suds and Ritz with the lead. On the move, Risky Hill, Drew Neal, now third, now second, and going after the leader. Green Hill Spurs racing third, into the turn, racing fourth. That is Country Behave, opening quarter in 32 1/5. Around the turn, What a Start fifth. Frida is there sixth. Racing seven is From Beyond. Trailing the field as they race over to the 3/8 mark. That is She's My Tomboy. Passing the stands first time, coming to the halfway station. On top of the field and showing the way, Suds and Ritz. Up on the outside, Risky Hill, the long mile second. Halfway home in 1:04. Inside, Green Hill Spurs third. Fourth on the outside. Closing in is What a Start. Country Behave racing fifth. It's a race to the backside, the half in 1:04. Racing next comes Frida, followed by From Beyond, and treading the field, She's My Tomboy. Down the backside they battle. Suds and Ritz on the inside. Risky Hill on the outside second. At the 3/4 mark, 1:34. Third panel, 30 seconds flat. On top, Suds and Ritz has the lead, opens back up by a length and a half. Risky Hill is there second. Into the stretch, Green Hill Spurs third. Moving up on the outside fourth and closing in, What a Start. Through the lane, it's Suds and Ritz. Risky Hill second. Suds and Ritz. Risky Hill. What a start. A mile, 2:05, 1/5.
.205 and 1/5 for Suds and Ritz. Emmanuel Miller in the bike for Herman Hagerman.
Nice last half there for these young trotters. It was 1:04 to the half, 2:05 and 1, making that a last half in 1:01 and 1.
Well, I thought he was going to give us a little bit of a rundown.
I did too. I did too. I was waiting to hear it.
Unofficial, I have 3658.
Correct. And actually, you know, we have our own lingo with horse racing too. The horse Suds and Ritz led, as they say, start to finish, wire to wire, things like that, all the way. But, you know, the horse that pulled first, of course, we call that first up. And if somebody follows to the outside, follows that horse's cover, then they're second over. But the lingo is another thing that's different between the two breeds.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
We have a whole different language than they do. And I must say, having been around both, actually, because I did spend some time learning about some thoroughbreds back when I was going to school in Chicago and went to Arlington Park and knew some of the jockeys and trainers. Having been around both horsemen, this is a very snobbish thing to say, I'm sure, but I think when it comes to taking care of horses' legs and injuries and things, I think that the trainers in our sport are much better conditioners and know much more about lameness and things to do. They tend not to do much stuff. They don't like to see a blister on a horse. Mm-hmm. It's a whole different thing.
So we do have our Winter Cup coming in front of the grandstand, but I would like to continue with that conversation once we see Suds and Ritz.
Into the winner's circle, the winner of the sixth race, on Talent Colt Stake 2-year-old filly trot, number 3, Suds and Ritz. Owned by Hagerman Racing, Martin Yoder, Lucinda Belcher, Herman Hagerman, the winning trainer, Emmanuel Miller in the sulky. 2-year-old filly, but what the hill out of Bubbles and Ritz. A winner in 2:05, 1/5. Lifetime mark. Suds and Ritz gets the blanket, fastest of the two divisions. Trophy blanket by Buddy Squeals on Wheels Barbecue goes to Suds and Ritz.
Well, there you have it. Our sixth race, Suds and Ritz, breaks the maiden and gets the first win in 2:05.1 for the fastest division of the 2-year-old filly trotters. But Trish, I want to finish that thought. So I am a self-proclaimed, I'm a standardbred girl. I really do not know much of anything about thoroughbreds. I can admire them. I watch the Kentucky Derby. They're athletes just as much as any quarter racing, standardbred, you name it. But don't they? So I have a couple of things with thoughts. I want to talk about one of the differences that blew my mind when I found out. But I want you to kind of go further into depth in caretaking because, you know, thoroughbreds only make it to the track once a month, if that. So here we have official results.
Beyond 6, the 2, She's My Tomboy, 8, the 3, Suds and Ritz, the winner, the 4, Frida, 7, the 5, What a Start, 3, the 6, Risky Hill, 2, the 7, Country Behave, 5, the 8, Green Hill Spurs, 4, Top Down, 6-8-1, 7-3-2, 5-4 on the bottom, the quarter 32-1, the half 104, 3/4 134, the mile 205 1/5. Upcoming 7th race, number 2, Q Dancer, the driver Drew Neal. Drew Neal drives the 2, Q Dancer. Number 6, Talking It to the Moon, Matt Burkholder. Matt Burkholder drives the 6, Talking It to the Moon. Bring them on.
Okay, Ashley, I'll try to say a couple things as it comes to my mind right now. Number one, you have to understand thoroughbreds are a much more fragile animal because when they are running, they are putting all that weight, that 1,000 or 1,100 pounds of weight, all on one foot at a time or one leg at a time. It's just the gait. Our gaited horses, be it a trotter or a pacer, are landing much more evenly, 2 and 2. And so that makes us, and, you know, over the breeding, we're conformed a little differently. And as our horses came into being, like I said, we're an all-American horse, we actually were pretty built for endurance. I mean, they used to do all that ridiculous, well, I don't know if it's ridiculous. It's exciting. Heat racing is exciting. I don't mind a couple of heats. Actually, I do like some tradition, too, like the Little Brown Jug, et cetera. But they used to go sometimes. You had to win twice. So you would have fields that would be assembled and nobody would be eliminated and they go 2, 3, 4. But back to the caretaking, because they're more fragile, they have a much lighter workload, much lighter schedule than we have. And they could not hold up, simply could not hold up to what they do. But they're very funny about the look kind of thing. So if you saw like a tendon start to bow or you had some filling or something, I know this for a fact, they do not want a horse to have a blister on it. It seems silly to me because it's a good way to prevent a further problem and stop something from going further. But they're very particular about what they do use for products as a caretaker, groom, etc. They get walked a lot. They do little short breezes. They just don't go like.
Well, you learn something every single day, but with that, we have finished our 6th race. We'll head into the 7th next. So here we go to a commercial break.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year. Our expert team of boarded surgeons, sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sport horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC oil. It makes a world of difference.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Long Tom, Summa Cum Laude, Ready for Money, and Bit of a Legend. See our yearlings at the Blooded Horse Sale August 27th and the Ohio Select Sale September 13th.
Here we go. Race 7, it sounds like we are mostly to the track, so we will let Roger post parade before we get too far into depth here. Second division of 3 for 3-year-old filly pacers, a purse of $3,934. A field of 7. Let me scroll back and see what our first division went in. First division was race 4, if you have been tuning in, And so our first division went in 2 minutes flat. And our trophy blanket does go to our fastest division of the evening.
Continuing to sing the praises of our all-American breed, the standard bred. It's all part of an umbrella called horse racing. There's lots of different horse racing. Quarter horse racing, Arabian horse racing, the thoroughbreds, which can also be called the flats. I often wondered why we got saddled with harness racing, because it's certainly not a harness racing around the track. It's a horse. And these horses are gaited horses, and what they do is far superior, if you ask me, to stay on gait and be under the pressure of a race at high speeds and continue to be as swift as they've come.
So we are slowly making our way. The one thing I will give Roger props for, well, I give Roger props for many things, but he is very particular, and for good reason, about post-parading in numerical order.
And you should.
Yes.
It is part of what every driver should be cognizant of. After all, we are a professional sport, and we should behave like professionals. We have a show to put on, and we should do it to our best.
Yep. And so it looks like we will start the post-parade field of 7 for the 7th. We do have a couple of changes that we'll go through. I'm sure Roger will hit those before us.
We hope.
Home Talent Colt Stakes 3-year-old filly pace for $3,934. Trophy by Hegerman Racing Stables. And these are the horses. Number 1, Odds On Sarah. The driver, Alex Hawk. The 2, Q Dancer with Drew Neal. Number 3, Good Miss Cadillac, Mark St. Louis Jr. The 4, Cinderella's Dragon with Chris Hirschberger. Number 5, Kiss My Grits, Logan Ebersole. The 6, Talking It to the Moon, Matt Burkholder. And number 7, Beautiful Leather, Ty Loy in the sulky.
All right. Roger gave us our field, so let's get rolling. On the rail, we have Odds On Sarah, Virgil Morgan Jr. Trains, a name that is very well known specifically at Scioto Downs, but all over the place. So Virgil Morgan Trains, the Racing Hill filly. Alex Hawk will get the call, looking to go 3 in a row, actually. And this is a BSS starter, just a few back, did end up 4th. From Scioto Downs in 52-2. So a filly that can pace, can go the mile, but she has recently been racing at fairs, and that's where those 2 most recent wins come from. 8 starts on the year, 4. So half of those have been wins and has made $34,000.
Q Dancer was a $5,000 Buckeye Classic sale purchase. This one is trained by Melvin Byler, driven by Drew Neal, and actually has not had the experience in the upper level, but has been very good, winning 2 of her last 3 starts, 9 starts so far this season. She did win $30,000 as a 2-year-old with a mark at 2 minutes and 3/5 at Northfield on a good track, not a fast track. This year, her best win is at Cortland, 2:03-1, also on a good track. That's Q Dancer.
Good Miss Cadillac will fall in line next. Herman Hagerman Trains. Mark St. Louis Jr. gets a drive. This is another one, if you are following along, does have a line to be announced. Just raced 2 days ago at Bucyrus, so we do not have those most current on our program. But one more back at Hilliard honestly has been pretty consistent the last handful of starts with 3 third-place finishes in a row. So 12 starts on the year, still looking for that first seasonal win, has made $18,000 lifetime. Took a mark at Northfield at 2 years old and at 201-1.
Cinderella's Dragon is the Ponderosa filly, and she is trained by trainer Chris Hirschberger, and Chris Hirschberger is also in the bike. I hate to say it, but this one also, we have that line from Bucyrus Missring, but without that, she has fared well this year. She's had 10 starts, 2 wins, 2 thirds, made $9,097, so almost taking down $1,000 a start. 157-3 at Northfield is her fastest mark this season. And her last start was at the Hilliard Fair, where she finished 5th.
We have an American Romance filly coming in next, Kiss My Grits. Jeff Ebersol trains. Logan Ebersol will get the call. This is a filly that has spent a lot of her life at the Parimutuel, so Northfield Scioto has yet to break her maiden, so 8 lifetime marks. Still looking to hit the board.
Talking to the Moon is another one of these horses that came in from Bucyrus, just racing 2 days ago. Tyler Angus was to drive, but the trainer Matt Burkholder now takes over the lines. 9 starts, it shows in the program, with 2 wins and 3 thirds.
Beautiful Lather comes in as a trailer. Ty Loy drives and trains and has made $129,000 lifetime. We'll look for the second win. And here we go for race 7. We'll throw it up to Roger.
Pacers are all in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. Odds on. Sarah goes for the lead. Up the inside from the second tier. Beautiful Lather gets away second. Third on the outside, it's Q Dancer taking a seat. Racing fourth, Good Miss Cadillac. Racing fifth to the backside, Cinderella's Dragon. 6 is Talking It to the Moon. Trailing the field, down the backside they go. Kiss My Grits, straight alignment, going to the first quarter mark. On top of the field, odds on Sarah with the lead. Beautiful Lather is there second as they race over to the quarter in 30 1/5. Into the turn, racing third, now fourth, now third, and coming on. Talking It to the Moon, and Matt Burkholder, now fourth, now third, now second on the outside, going after the leader. Odds on Sarah. Beautiful Lather racing third, the outside Cinderella's Dragon fourth. Dancer fifth, racing sixth, Good Miss Cadillac. Treading the field, Kiss My Grits, halfway home, 101. 3/5. On to the backside they go. Odds on Sarah has the lead. Talking It to the Moon on the outside second. Trapped in. Beautiful Lather third. Ready to go 3 wide. Cinderella's Dragon down the backside. On the inside. As they race into the turn. Go on to the 3/4 mark. Between horses is Good Miss Cadillac. 3/4, 131-3. Third panel in 30 seconds flat. Odds on Sarah gets away by 3.5. Beautiful Lather is there second. 1/8 of a mile to go in Ohio. Odds on Sarah the leader. Beautiful Lather is second. Racing on the battle for third. To the wire, it's odds on Sarah. Beautiful Lather, Q Dancer. The mile, 2 minutes flat.
Well, look at that. So, odds on Sarah, 2 minutes flat. And if we flip back to our first division, was also 2 minutes flat. So we will have.
But this one came a final quarter in 28-2.
I say
now
much different fractions.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the trophy blanket, we do not have a clear winner. We do still have one more division to go.
What do they do? Flip a coin?
I have no idea.
I would like to know how they settle that one.
They tear the blanket in half.
No, how did they settle that one? I don't know. Interestingly enough, it's a very tough call to make. If you think you have the best horse in the race, the one to beat, there's no better place to be than on the front, because then they have to beat you. You have to relinquish the lead, whatever. However, if you think that you can, that coming first over, that's always a tough decision. Because if you don't clear the lead, you might be out there for a long time, as was the case with Talking to the Moon. So when you make the move to the outside, if you don't have a great brush and can get along the leader, or you don't have one that can take a lot of air, because you're certainly going further for the mile. But there you go into driving strategy. And did you ever drive, Ashley?
No, I do not drive. I've been in the bike, but I do not have my driver's license. My mother, I don't know if she's tuning in. That will never happen.
Okay.
I love my mom. It will never happen.
Okay.
She will not allow that to happen.
Well, I wouldn't want to pursue a driving career, but I did train horses, and I did go miles with them. My brother put me up. The first time he put me up behind a horse and he told me just to jog one. This is, back in my, God, I must have been about 21 or something was the first time I jogged. Maybe 20. I was afraid of horses for a while, even though I loved them from afar, because I got stepped on by a 5-gaited horse that my sister had running across the field in front of it when I was just not quite 4 years old. And I had 56 stitches. I have my lucky horseshoe right there. But when I was working in California,
the filly pace. Number 1, Odds On Sarah. Owned by Odds On Racing, Boca Raton, Florida. Virgil Morgan Jr., the trainer. Alex Hawk in the sulky. 3-year-old filly by Racing Hill to Keystone Paula. A winner in 2 minutes flat. Final half, 58-2. Final quarter, 28-2. And for Odds On Sarah, 3 in a row in Ohio.
so I bet we'll come back to my story after.
Odds On Sarah, the winner. The 2, Q Dancer, 3. The 3, Good Miss Cadillac, 5. The 4, Cinderella's Dragon, 4. The 5, Kiss My Grits, 7. The 6, Talking It to the Moon, 6. The 7, Beautiful Lather, 2. Top down, 1, 3, 5, 4, 7, 6. 2 on the bottom. The quarter, 30-1. The half, 101.3. 3 quarters, 131.3. The mile, 2 minutes flat. In the 8th race, number 5, Count the Roses, Matt Burkholder. Matt Burkholder drives the 5, Count the Roses. In the barn area, bring.
All right, so we have some changes for the 8th race coming up next. But to close out our 7th, we have Odds On Sarah making it 3 in a row in 2 minutes flat, our second division of the 3-year-old filly pace. Next up is our 8th race, the second and final division of the 3-year-old filly trot. So we will come back and fish, and Trish, you can finish your story after a couple of messages.
The Knox County Fairgrounds in Mount Vernon, Ohio has been a popular place since 1895. The grounds were originally home to an amusement resort known as Lake Hiawatha Park. Guests would arrive at the front gates on a state-of-the-art electric trolley. The lake retreat was complete with a billiard and dance hall, theaters, restaurants, and a zoo. By the mid-20th century, the park fell out of fashion. The land would become home to the Knox County Fair. The fair dates back further than its establishment at Lake Hiawatha Park. Local township farmer clubs held gatherings as early as the 1840s. Those clubs would soon form the Knox County Agricultural Society and host the first county-wide fair. For several years, the fair moved from location to location. Grains, fruit, and livestock were exhibited for a single day at the town courthouse, in churches, or even the jailhouse property. The fair would outgrow all of these spaces and demand a permanent place to call home. In 1894, the fair made its move to Lake Hiawatha Park. One of the biggest advantages of the park was its racetrack. Automobile and horse racing were popular during this time. The county fair took advantage, hosting pacers and trotters annually.
history, tradition. For over 100 years, 2- and 3-year-old trotters and pacers have started their careers on the tracks of the Home Talent Colt Stakes. See the future stars of Ohio harness racing at one of the Home Talent's 15 tracks. The stars of tomorrow are racing at a track near you today. The Home Talent Colt Stakes. You can't win them if you aren't in them.
All right, you know the drill by now. You're back with Ashley and Trish here at Mount Vernon, and in the golden hour is setting. I'm sure you can see in our camera. We're getting some beautiful afternoon
Sunshine.
It's starting to sunset here, but we are on race 8, going into race 8 of 10. So we are on the back half of our card, going into another second division of the 3-year-old filly trot. But before then, we are still waiting for some horses to hit the track. And Trish, you were going to tell us a story.
Yeah, before we highlight these 3-year-old trotting fillies, so I loved horses and I wanted to be around them. And I had my dad bred a horse, and I had my first own horse when I was like 18. But I was afraid of them. They were big and scary, and I'd been stepped on. So my brother says, you're going to get over it. He makes me start to help him in the barn. And he tells me, you're going to jog one. And this is at a farm track. So he puts me behind this, I think it was 13 at the time, Highland Star. And I didn't know, so I'm sitting there, and I grab the lines, and the bit goes up in the horse's mouth. And even though we're going the wrong way of the track, which is supposed to be your easy jog, he takes off. So it was a long time, and I got off that, and he's screaming at me just to keep in between the fences and keep going till he tires out. My arms were like rubber. But after that, I did go training miles. I learned to get into the horseman part, and I love grooming. I love taking care of them. I could do that all the time. But I did drive in a horse race at Sacramento. They wanted to be a publicity race.
Yeah.
However, it was with pacing ponies. Now, they weren't little ones. These are ones that are probably, I would say, 12 hands. They're just like a small horse. But it was a big circuit out there. And I won. I won. And it wasn't fixed. And the biggest thing were all these nice drivers that I was working in PR doing things came out. And the talent that was out there in California at the time, people I'm sure you probably heard of. You had your Shelley Goodrow, who died sadly from a harness racing accident. He was from Canada. You had Robert Ritchie that had a Little Brown Jug winner. Yeah. He was out there in the winner's circle. We had Gene Vallandigham, who was a flash. They called him Hollywood. He wore, he had blonde hair. He was he looked like Captain America.
That's the looker of the group.
But so many, Jim Grundy, oh my God, I'm dating myself. But it was winning a race. Oh my God, I wouldn't do it again.
You're one and done, and that's all right.
That's
We're
it.
one and done.
Let's retire with 1,000% batting average.
It looks like we are lining
Close.
up, but I'm not sure if we're quite there yet. But those pacing ponies are so cool. But here we go, Roger, post-parading race 8.
$1,780, trophy by MB Racing Stable. Number 1, Fool Me Moxie, Eric Miller. Number 2, Endless Time, Mark St. Louis Jr. Number 3, Punctual Pam, Charlie Myrick. The 4, Hopeful Dreams, Rosie Weaver. The 5, Count the Roses, Matt Burkholder. And number 6, first prize winner, Matthew Brown in the Sulky.
All right, so there is our field of 6. We will not have any trailers. This might be, I think this is our first race in the card that we do not have any trailers for these fillies. But second division, 3-year-old filly trotters on the rail. We have Fool Me Moxie. Isaiah Shrake will train Eric Miller in the bike. Still looking for the first win this season, but did start in a BSS leg all the way back in June 12th. Was in the money with a 5th place check. Last couple of starts were here at fairs. Carrollton last time out, 3rd place finish in 2:07. Has made $30,000 lifetime.
Herman Hagerman is the conditioner of the 3-year-old filly Endless Time by Uncle Peter, and owned way far out of Ohio by Ronald Lamar Burks from Cypress, Texas. I wonder if he's tuning in. Mark St. Louis Jr. gets the call. This one has made actually 10 starts, but again has a missing line from Bucyrus. One at Hilliard, however, on July 15th in 2:03 flat, last quarter in 30 seconds. So had 2 wins, 2 seconds without that line, has earned $12,805 this year.
Another long Tom filly will go behind the gate. Punctual Pam, Charlie Myrick trains and will drive. One that is once again looking for the first win of the season. Had a little bit of a hiccup behind the gate last start out at Carrollton, but one that has made almost $20,000, lifetime.
Speaking of women in the bike, actually we do have Rosie Weaver, and she does like to drive some of her horses at the odd times. She's in the bike with Hopeful Dreams here, so she trains and drives, owned by Heartland Acres of Walholding, Ohio. 4 starts so far on the season, yet to hit the board. Made a break from the rail last time out, but recovered, finished 4th, and that was at Oak Harbor, is that what that is? I can't even see what that is.
Yep, that would be Oak Harbor.
Okay, Oak Harbor. And she purchased this one out of the Buckeye Classic for $14,000.
Count the Roses. Matt Burkholder drives and trains the full count filly. Coming off of a couple scratches, hasn't had a start since June 26th up at Northfield. 17 lifetime starts, 1 win.
We have another trainer, driver, owner with Matt Brown and first prize winner. This one needs a line to be announced, but from oh, no, that can't be, can it? Washington Courthouse yesterday?
Well, 3 days ago.
Oh, yeah, 3 days ago. I gotcha. 14 starts on the season, 1 win, 1 second, and 4 thirds. Mark at 206 and 3 at Northfield.
Here we come. Throw up to Roger.
They're off and trotting. That's Hopeful Dreams going for the lead. Endless Time is second. The inside, Fool Me Moxie. As they race into the turn, racing 4th. That is Count the Roses. Onto the backside they go. Racing next comes first prize winner. Trailing the field, Punctual Pam. Down the backside they go. Hopeful Dreams has the lead by 4. Racing second, Endless Time. Racing third, Fool Me Moxie as a race over the first quarter mark. Count the Roses 4th, racing 5th, first prize winner and trailing the field, Punctual Pam, all in straight alignment. Opening quarter 29 and 2. Now over to the 3/8 mark. The leader is Hopeful Dreams with Rosie Weaver showing the way by 3.5. Racing second, it's Endless Time. Trotting third as he passes stand for the first time. It's Fool Me Moxie. Racing 4th, Count the Roses. 5th is first prize winner. On the outside 6th, Punctual Pam. Halfway home, 59 and 2. Second quarter in 30 seconds flat. To the backside they go. Hopeful Dreams continues to lead. The margin 2.5. Endless Time second. Racing third, Fool Me Moxie. On the move on the outside. Count the Roses, now 4th, now 3rd. First prize winner, Matthew Brown, pops ear plugs. Trailing the field off stride, Punctual Pam. Up on the outside, Endless Time takes the lead now. 3 quarters, 131 and 2. Midway around the final turn. Endless Time has the lead. Racing second, it's Hopeful Dreams. Third on the inside. 1/8 of a mile to go. On top of the field and drawing away, it's Endless Time. Mark St. Louis Jr. by 5. Battle's going to be for second and third. Coming to the wire, Endless Time. Home second, Count the Roses. Photo for show.
Say we'll still wait for that official mile time from Roger. But an easy winner. Endless Time pulls away by a handful of lengths.
However, it was a photo for second. Roger gave the call. I think he's correct with the 5 finishing second.
That's what I think.
Okay. Great minds think alike.
Right,
you know.
right.
Why not take the credit when we can, huh? Now watch it come up the other way.
Yeah, right. I said I've been 2 on today. There's bound to be a time that I am drastically wrong.
Well, Ashley, I'm sure you know, having watched enough races at different tracks, the finish line is different, favors like inside or outside for certain racetracks. They're not all exactly the same, and it's not exactly always a straight line because it's measured.
Because of the way that we also have our photo finish, right? We like to be as on as possible, but there's always going to be a little bit of human error.
For sure. Although the photo finish camera itself, where it's employed, is a remarkable tool, very important, because it is not a still picture. It is actually film that is moving through a narrow aperture that catches the horse's images as they move through at the wire on the finish line.
When I worked for Dayton Raceway and I was handicapping every night, they also I did a lot of photo finish. That was a whole new world for me. Whole new world, but it was really cool.
Yeah. And it happens fast, the development, the whole
so
thing.
So fast. And you need to be paying attention. And here we have our winner, Endless Time, slowly making his way, going to turn back in front of the grandstand.
Number 2, Endless Time. Over Ronald Lamar Burks of Cypress, Texas. Herman Hagerman with a training double in the evening card. Mark St. Louis Jr. in the sulky. 3-year-old filly by Uncle Peter out of Customary. Home a winner in 2:03, equaling the lifetime mark. Blanket goes to the first division. Blanket goes to Levi Hirschberger, fastest of the miles. Eli's Dream Girl, Levi Hirschberger, the fastest mile, gets the MB Racing Stable blanket. In the race office, results are official. Number 1, Fool Me Moxie, 5. The 2, Endless Time, the winner. The 3, Punctual Pam, 6. The 4, Hopeful Dreams, 3. The 5, Count the Roses, 2. The 6, First Prize Winner, 4. Top down, 5-1-6, 3-2. 4 on the bottom. The quarter, 29-2. The half, 59-2. 3 quarters, 131-2. The mile, 2:03. In the 9th race, scratch the 2, VH Fancy. Scratch the 4, Acadia Hanover. And please note the 5-horse, I'm a Beach Lady, is barred from the wagering. No mutual wagering on the 5, I'm a Beach Lady.
All right, well, there we have it for our 8th race. Endless Time, Mark St. Louis Jr. for Herman Hagerman. Get that win, equaling their lifetime mark. Next, we will have race 9 out of 10 for our evening card here in Mount Vernon. We're going to go into our 3rd and final division for 3-year-old filly Pacers. We'll catch you back here shortly.
Own a little and love it a lot. The Stable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. The Stable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at thestable.ca.
The future is bright in Ohio. Ohio Sire Stakes, Buckeye Stallion Series, 65 county and independent fairs. Whether it's the Ohio Sire Stakes, the Buckeye Stallion Series, or the County Fair, Ohio has a place for your racehorse. This year, Ohio breds are racing for over $20 million in stakes purses. Be part of the winning. Breed, buy, race, win in Ohio.
Here we are. We are back on. I say, and Trish, we'll take a gander at our Facebook comments. while we wait. Doesn't look like any, well, we might have 1 or 2 on the track, so we do still have quite a few waiting to come out for race 9. It will be a field of 7.
No.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I know it has been a long day here at Mount Vernon. Hopefully you got to watch a little bit of Washington Courthouse this morning as well.
Well, actually, we're scratched down to a
we
field
did.
of 5 now, so this is going to make it a short field. But as you mentioned earlier, there's going to be one that cannot move up to the frontier, and that's going to be the 7, Blazing Dragon. Well, she checks for those comments. You know, the placing on these horses, they do pay first 5 finishers. Get paid. The purse divisions sometimes are different at fairs, certain places, but normally the purse is divided with 50% to the winner, 25% to the second place horse, 12% to the third place, 8 and 5 for fifth, 5% for fifth place. I don't know if that's the case here today.
Yes, it is. Home Talent Colt Stake will. There is one circuit, it might be Southern Valley, that changes it, but you are exactly right today.
In this instance, with 2 of them out, as long as they finish the race, they'll all get a check, as they say.
Yep. Not a bad day as long as you get around, right?
Well, yeah, as you pointed out about the length amount of time, and this is what we see, but it's even what about after? You know, the horse has to get a bath, be cooled out, and people have different ways of cooling them out. Some people still traditionally walk them. Others might just bathe them and throw them in the stall with some hay. And then after that, though, there's always taking care of the feet and the legs and getting ready to ship back if you aren't stabled here on the grounds.
And so, Trish, you have, you've spent your years at many different tracks. If you could name one of the biggest differences you've seen over time, do you think you could pinpoint something?
Well, yes, I guess when they came to doing the inside passing lane, that was the biggest innovation of my time.
Interesting.
Other
Okay.
than, we called that, to me, at first people thought, well, that's, not so good. But actually, I like it. I think it's more fair in a lot of ways. A horse cannot get trapped and locked in that's full of pace or trot either way. I kind of liked it, although some places have had it and then taken it away too. So it just depends. But I like that, and that was probably one of the biggest innovations, other than the fact how the sulkies, which is what they were originally called, we call them race bikes more frequently today. But the sulkies have changed dramatically, both in the materials they use and, of course, innovation. They did try that single shaft that you may or may not have ever heard of, but the horse could actually turn around and look at you if they wanted to. They decided that was unsafe. I think he has them. Oh, are they gathered yet?
I think we still have one coming
more.
to the track.
But, yes, I would say the inside passing lane.
Do you know roughly what years that was introduced?
Yes, I do. That was the early 90s. I want to
Really?
say 92.
I did not realize it was that recently.
Or maybe mid-90s, maybe 94, 95.
But still, I mean, I didn't realize it was that recently.
I'll bet Roger knows.
Roger knows everything.
He should. He's been everywhere and been at a lot of different racetracks, goes abroad all the time.
Yes.
Are you jealous?
Oh, my gosh, all the time. I know. I think it's every year after, well, actually, while we're waiting, I'll tell the very first time I met Roger Houston was at Urbana, Champaign County Fair. And it was the year that my dad had passed. So I thought it was so special. He came to announce my dad's memorial race, and I thought that was the coolest thing.
Of course.
And now knowing Roger, because we worked together for so long, like, oh, that man. You can't not love him. You can't not love him.
Well, Ashley, maybe after people hear us together, we'll get some invite to go somewhere.
You heard it here first, folks. We are available for hire.
One of those trips to one of those beautiful locations, right?
Maybe we don't know what we're talking about all the time, but we sure have a lot of fun. We'll bring some
Absolutely.
spice to the show.
A sugar and spice. What are you talking about?
And here we go. Here is our field for race 9. So what does that mean? All right, so We've had a long day, so Matt just updated us. If you're not able to hear Roger for the time being, he has to go replace some batteries. That's how many races I put forth. I know, we're almost to the end of the card, too. So Matt to the rescue. He's going to go fix that before we go to post. Behind the gate. So what we will do is, Trish, let's talk about our field that has been scratched down to 5.
All right, well, this is the 9th race. It's the 3rd division of the 3-year-old filly Pacers, and the individual purse today is $3,934, and from the rail, it's going to be Vintage Queen. She came out of the Buckeye Classic sale for a price of only $4,000 tag. Chris Hirschberger trains and drives, and Danny Ray Hostetler owns. This one's had 6 appearances this year with 1 second. Fared much better last season as a 2-year-old with 17 starts, 5 wins, and 6 thirds, but maybe just getting on track now. Finished second, 2 back as a missing line from Bucyrus, so may be a winner, don't know. 158-3 at Northfield this year.
The 2 VH Fancy is a scratch. So we move on to the 3 SP Dancing with Stars. Betty Clegg trains. Nick Clegg will drive the 3-year-old filly by Dancing Yankee. This is a filly that only had 1 start as a 2-year-old, so must have got turned out and had some growing up to do. 23 starts as a 3-year-old, 7 of those wins. This is another one, if you're following along in our programs. Bucyrus, a line to be announced, so we do not have that official rundown from Bucyrus last start just a few days ago. But the start before that at Hilliard was second and 3 back. Well, actually, we had a couple wins in a row.
Well, the 5 horse is barred from the wagering, I heard, and that is I'm a Beach Lady, trained by Herman Hagerman with Mark St. Louis Jr. in the bike. This one also has a missing line, but before that has taken a record this season of 153-3 at Scioto Downs with a victory there. 13 starts, 2 wins, 3 seconds, and 2 thirds. 33,700 so far this year, but you can't wager on her.
Fear the Dragon filly. Fancy Dragon will come out of our 6th post position. Rocky Ward trains and drive. This is another one. We apologize. A line to be announced from Bucyrus, but 2 starts back at Carrollton. Did have a 2nd place finish and took a mark earlier this year, 158 at Northfield.
D. Houghton sends Blazing Dragon forward with Logan Ebersol, and this horse did not race at 2 and it has had only 1 start as a 3-year-old. Broke at Cortland and now makes its 2nd appearance as a racehorse. A black filly by Fear the Dragon.
And there is our field of 7 scratched down to a field of 5. We will still have that 7 trailing. But here we go, our 3rd and final division for 3-year-old filly Pacers, a purse of $3,934.
Pacers are all in behind the Wippenberg starting gate on the upper turn. Gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and pacing. I'm a Beach Lady goes right out for the lead. SP Dancing with the Stars gets away 2nd. Vintage Queen inside 3rd. Outside 4th, it's Fancy Dragon. Treading the field, that's Blazing Dragon. All in straight alignment as they race around the turn. Go on to the backside in the first quarter mark. I'm a Beach Lady by a length and a quarter. Racing 2nd. SP Dancing with the Stars. 3rd is Vintage Queen. Fancy Dragon 4th, and Blazing Dragon trails the field. Opening quarter in 30 seconds flat. Around the turn they go to the 3/8 mark. It's I'm a Beach Lady on top by a length and a half. SP Dancing with the Stars right there 2nd. Vintage Queen pacing 3rd. Fancy Dragon is 4th. Trailing the field, Blazing Dragon. Coming to the halfway station. The leader, I'm a Beach Lady, barred from the wagering at the halfway point. SP Dancing with the Stars is 2nd. Halfway home, 1 minute, 1/5. Into the turn they go. Vintage Queen racing 3rd. Fancy Dragon gapping out 4th. Treading the field, Blazing Dragon. Still in straight alignment down the backside. The order is not changed. The leader, I'm a Beach Lady. Racing 2nd, SP Dancing with the Stars. Vintage Queen 3rd. Coming to the outside, Fancy Dragon 4th. Up the inside, Blazing Dragon, 3/4, 129-3. Round the final turn, It's I'm a Beach Lady with the lead. Racing second, SP Dancing with the Stars. Fancy Dragon third on the outside. Into the stretch they come. It's all I'm a Beach Lady, drawn away by 3.5. Easy winner, barred from the wagering. Mutual winner, SP Dancing with the Stars. Blazing Dragon, Fancy Dragon.
No final time, no final mile time quite yet, but I guess that is why we were barred from wagering on our 5-horse. I'm a Beach Lady.
And he only did what he had to do. Pretty evenly rated mile. Actually, SP Dancing with Stars was smart, dropped in behind, couldn't keep up with her, however, but still managed to finish second, but will be, for the betting purposes, the winner, and that would be the SP Dancing with Stars. I think that one was easy to call as they crossed the finish. I got 5, 3, 7, 6, 1. There's the whole field.
There is the whole field. And so you could definitely tell when Mark crossed and tripped that wire, he still had his hands full. We still had some horse left. So nice, easy mile. We did not gut anything today.
No, no. We're getting ready for that getaway feature. That's going to be our 10th race here, and that's a short select field of aged horses. As we wait for the final time and the official rundown here in this 3-year-old filly, 3rd division of Pacers.
Say Mark is right in time with our golf cart crew, making their way back over for that one photo.
Yeah, you get a lot of exercise when you're in the back stretch and you're working with the horses, and especially if you don't have a car or a cart that can take you to the winner's circle should your horse win.
You're sprinting
I've
across.
I've run
Yeah.
a few times. Oh, it's good for you, though.
And here the crew is.
And it's a full cart.
I would like
no
to know,
room left.
Did they pop a tire? Is that what we heard?
I don't know. let's not have any
Not
conspiracy
jinx.
theories here.
We only have 2 more to get through.
Lady. Owned by Hagerman Racing, Martin Yoder, and Daniel Schrock. Herman Hagerman, the winning trainer, his 3rd of the card. Mark St. Louis Jr. in the sulky, his 2nd winning drive on the card. 3-year-old filly by Down by the Seaside, a rocket all out. A winner, 159-2, and the Hagerman stable gets the blanket. The fastest of the 3 divisions goes to I'm a Beach Lady.
Another nice mile.
Yeah, very well rated on the driver's part. Didn't want to do more than he really had to do.
6.
Oh, there he is. Roger just giving us the rundown on the mutuals again because the 5 was barred. So if anybody just happens to be in the grandstand and listening, it went 3-7-6 for our wagers.
9th race. Number 1, Vintage Queen, 5. The 2 was scratched. The 3, SP Dancing with the Stars, 2. The 4 was scratched. The 5, I'm a Beach Lady, the winner. The 6, Fancy Dragon, 4. The 7, Blazing Dragon, 3. Top down, 5 scratch 2, scratch 1, 4, 3 on the bottom. The quarter, 30 seconds. The half, minute and a fifth. 3/4, 129.3. The mile, 159 3/5. 10th race, scratch the 1, some more Prince. Ammon Hirschberger on the 2, Emmanuel Miller on the 3. Bring them on.
All right, as we quickly scratch on the changes for the 10th. So the 5, I'm a Beach Lady, gives us our first sub 2-minute mile of our filly card. She gets the win for the 9th race, that 3rd and final division for our 3-year-old Pacers. We will move in.
I was going to say, I'm sure Dee Houghton is pleased with this horse that didn't race at 2 and only had 1 start under its belt this year. Finished 3rd with that Blazing Dragon.
Right, maybe one to keep an eye on as we keep around the county fairs. So with that, we will move in to our 10th and final as our the curtain closes and the sun goes down here in Mount Vernon. It is going to be the free-for-all trot for a purse of $1,000. We do have some changes. We have a scratch and some drivers to put up. If you are following along on a program, we will see you back here shortly.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year. Our expert team of boarded surgeons, sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sport horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661. Volstead, Coach K. Hanover, Slay, Ohio's top trotters stand at Dublin Valley Farms. Volstead's offspring include Sugar Instead, the 2023 Ohio 2-year-old Trotting Filly of the Year, and 2024 Ohio Sire Stakes winner Jurassic Hattie. Coach K. Hanover, the son of world record holder Walner, and Slay, the son of Chapter 7, standing his first season at Dublin Valley Farms. When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com for fast shipping. Most orders ship that day. Or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
We are back. It's the 10th race, our final, and as Ashley said, it's a free-for-all trot. This is aged trotters that you're seeing, and purse is $1,000. The one is scratched. That Somewhere Prince is out, so we'll move on to the 2-horse, which is Dance with Somebody, Ammon Hirschberger in the bike. This one trained by Doug Ryan. Doug Ryan owns, along with Richard C. and Thomas A. Ryan, so it's a bit of a family affair with this one. Dance with Somebody has had 8 starts this year, and last time cut the mile out at Northfield and finished 4th, beaten 2 lengths, and the time of the mile for individual time, 58-3, 158-3. So Chris Page was in the bike that time. Ammon Hirschberger tonight.
Trophy presented in memory of Jim Shipley. These are the horses. Number 1 is scratched. The 2, Dance with Somebody, Ammon Hirschberger. Number 3, Spunkin's Rocket Man with Emmanuel Miller. And number 4, Feisty Sam, Matthew Brown in the sulky.
All right, so there we go. Were you done introducing our second horse?
Yes, I was.
All right,
take it away.
We will move on to the 3 Spunkin's Rockin' Man. Excuse me. This is an all gelding field. We've been looking at fillies all evening, and we've got all geldings behind our gate for our free-for-all trot. A 6-year-old by Explosive Matter. You heard Roger give it. Emmanuel Miller will be in the bike. Elizabeth Tolley trains. Last start out had some tough luck. Was the 10 trailer at Scioto Downs. It did make a break pretty close out of the gate. But lifetime 77 starts, 8 wins, 11 seconds, and 9 third-place finishes. Has made almost $110,000.
And then we have, oops, are
go
you
ahead,
done?
please.
We're talking over each other right now. It's getting late. 4, Feisty Sam, trained and driven by Matt Brown, owned by Michelle E. Brown. And this one has had 13 starts this season, racked up $18,668, won over a sloppy track at Northfield in 158-4. That was back a ways. Last time out was at the Paulding Fair, had the rail and finished 4th. This one trotted in 2:02-1 at Paulding.
It looks like our 2-horse has the fastest lifetime mark, taken at 4 years old at Northfield, 154-4.
Also the oldest. He's 9 years old. What a veteran. The one that I felt a little sad for was Spunkin's Rocket Man that you talked about, because if you look down 3 back, this horse actually won and was placed 8th, and the time was then disallowed. you know, you do all that work and then something happens in the mile and you get disqualified. It's heart-wrenching, but apparently Spunken's Rocket Man must have called interference during that race at some point, got into somebody, won the race but was placed 8th. So they do then disallow the time, and you do not win. You go to the back of the pack like he did and finished 8th. Did win, though, 3 races, as you said, last season, and 8 out of 77 lifetime.
And I'm saying there are 2 Dance With Somebody is still looking for the first season win. Well, and so is actually, the 3-horse as well. As
No,
we're reading
he
a little
won
bit
but
further.
lost.
Yeah.
That's, won but lost. But yes, officially, 2 of them are looking for the winner's circle for the first time this season. So a 3-horse race, that's a bit of unusuality, a very short field. In that case, what do you think the strategy becomes?
Get on front and stay on front.
And then they have to beat you. And do you just wait late to make your move?
Right, I know. It definitely, especially with aged horses, experienced horses like this, I mean, your fractions are going to play such a heavy role. If it's I don't expect them to go to a slow opening quarter, but it's so hard. Like, I think about, again, like you said, this is only a 3-horse field, but I think about Scioto Downs. If you got 9-10 to field and you go to the quarter in 29, it is so hard to catch up from the back end.
It sure is.
Here we go, a very short field of 3 for our 10th and final, the free-for-all trot purse, $1,000. We'll see who gets it done, and we're going to throw it right up to the voice, Roger Houston.
Free-for-all trotters in behind the gate. The gate swings into the stretch, and here they come. They're off and trotting. Dance With Somebody out for the early lead. Getting away second, it's Feisty Sam. Treading the field, Spunken's Rocket Man. All in straight alignment as they race into the turn, go on to the first 8th. On top, Dance With Somebody. Ammon Hirschberger showing the way by 3.5. Feisty Sam, Matthew Brown, right there second. Trailing the field, Spunken's Rocket Man. Emmanuel Miller can see them all. Go on to the first quarter mark. Into the turn they go. Dance With Somebody continues to show the way. Opening quarter, 33-2. Feisty Sam second. Spunken's Rocket Man trails the field, still in straight alignment as they race over to the 3/8. Into the lane first time, coming to the halfway point. Dance With Somebody has the lead. Feisty Sam second. Spunken's Rocket Man tips to the outside to begin the chase third. Halfway home with Dance With Somebody. Halfway there in 1:04.4. Into the turn they go. Feisty Sam second. Up on the outside, Spunken's Rocket Man. Now third, now second. Sticks the nose in front. Going down the backside, Dance With Somebody has the lead. Spunken's Rocket Man on the outside, second. In third, Feisty Sam at the 3-quarter mark. Into the turn, Dance With Somebody. 3/4, 1:35. And the battle's on. Dance With Somebody with the lead. On the outside, Spunken's Rocket Man second. Feisty Sam third. Into the stretch, less than 8 to go in Ohio. Dance With Somebody. Ammon Hirschberger. The battle's on for second and third. Dance With Somebody.
I don't think I'm going to try to call
I wouldn't
that.
call that one either.
I didn't quite catch that. I heard 3/5 for our final time.
We will get the opportunity to hear it again, I'm sure. Although, pace makes the race, and evidently very smart for Dance With Somebody to take over and then set the pace, even though they're trotters, set the pace that he wanted. It was a very close finish for second because there was a big surge from the 3 Spunkins Rocket Man the last stride. So I don't know. That was tight.
I'm gonna say, and I sitting here where we're sitting, we are very, very close to the finish line, and I've been all day I've been able to call it one way or another. But that one was even tighter than I believe the dead heat was earlier.
It was that last step. I wasn't quite sure. Last stride, I should say. They don't step, they stride.
Oh, well, what a beautiful evening. And the sun went down. It is so nice and cool and clear. And we had such a good crowd, especially early in the card. As it starts to get later, we have had a few leave, but everybody was so excited and was so involved with the races here at Mount Vernon.
Of course, we love to see the enthusiasm from the fans. And I know Ashley mentioned it earlier, but those that travel around to the different fairs, if they care to get one of our passport books, it's not a bad idea. You come get a sticker for every fair, and you have that stamped in your passport book, and at the end you can mail it in, and there'll be prizes for the fan that followed us around and went to the most fairs on the Ohio circuit here.
And don't feel like you're getting a late start. There are plenty of more cards to come.
No kidding.
Number 2, Dance with Somebody. Doug Ryan, Mount Vernon. Richard and Thomas Ryan of Howard, Ohio. Doug Ryan, the winning trainer. Ammon Hirschberger with a driving double on tonight's card. 9-year-old Gunny Bajarmbro out of Dances on Air. Home a winner in 2:03 3/5. Final quarter, 28-3.
It's a nice final quarter.
Yes, it is. But, you know, these are, as you say, pretty nice horses, pretty nice aged horses. Every time I hear the name Dance with Somebody, I want to break out in song. I like that song.
Do we want to take a guess? I don't think Matt's. Oh, so here we go. Well, I wonder if that's a Clegg trailer. Big and long and lots of horses.
Oh, absolutely.
Here we go.
I would guess you're right.
Here is the 2 going back in front of the grandstand. I think there we do have our very full golf cart coming for that win photo.
Way to end up the day. Go home a winner. Even if it's a 3-horse race, it feels the same. Winning is
a win
winning.
is a win. Yeah, a win
winning
is a win.
is winning.
They just set a national seasons record. 8 on the golf cart at the Knox County Fair.
Roger had me like bated breath there. I was going, what are you talking about, national seasons record?
Blanket in this race in memory of Jim Shipley, longtime speed superintendent of the Knox County Fair. Dance with Somebody, Doug Ryan, Ammon Hirschberger.
So here's our winner. We are still waiting on that official finish from Roger.
Results are official.
There we go.
Number 1 was scratched. The 2, Dance with Somebody, the winner. The 3, Spunkins Rocket Man, 2. The 4, Feisty Sam, 3. Top down, scratch 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. The quarter, 33-2. The half, 104.4. 3/4, 135. The mile, 2:03 3/5. I'd like to thank.
All right, well, that does it. We have another 10 in for the evening card, and that officially finishes our 2024 season at the Knox County Fair and Mount Vernon.
and finishes my initial live broadcast with Ashley Daly.
And it
I
was a
sure enjoyed
wonderful
myself,
time.
Ashley. I appreciate it. It was fun working with you, and we had good racing.
We did.
And we hope to see you at the fairs, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Trish. It was wonderful. I'm sure there will be plenty more where it comes from. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We do have racing. If you want to join me back at 11 a.m. tomorrow on Facebook and YouTube, Susan and I will be at Marysville to start off day 1 there. So please tune in. It has been a great evening. We look forward to seeing you soon. And on behalf of everybody at OHHA, Matt, who hasn't talked all night, thank you so much. Have a great evening.
This has been Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing has been presented by Midland Acres, thestable.ca, Dublin Valley Farms, Big D Tack and Vet Supply, and the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio County Fair Racing is a presentation of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.